Welcome to Nerd on Nerd with me, Jack Kempster.
And me, Liam Underwood, wishing you a very happy new year. It's 2017, Jack, and you know what that means?
We're in the future.
Well, no, it's the present. But It means we've survived the year of Brexit and President-elect Trump, and we're heading into a very exciting year of actually Brexit and actually President Trump. So,
yay!
A lot of people were complaining about 2016, saying it's one of the worst years they can remember, a lot of celebrity deaths. I think wait for 2017. I think this year is going to make that look like a warm-up.
Oh, good. Well, that's a nice positive start to our wonderful New Year's episode, Liam.
This is going to be a great episode where we look forward, we look back, and we just have a good old chat, good old laugh, and maybe we won't fall out.
That's not going to happen.
Do you know what else we're doing in this episode, Jack?
Yes.
We're talking about Pokemon Moon.
Right, I did know that.
Yep, so...
I always get scared when you ask me things, because I never know...
You can't tell where I'm thinking, can you?
No.
Like, I'm trying to lead you down a certain path, and you're just stubbornly refusing to follow me.
I'm like that one sheep at the back of the flock that doesn't really know what it's doing.
The black sheep. The runt, if you will.
Yeah, I think more like the runt, because the black sheep always sort of makes me think of a cool loner.
Nah, that's not what I think of.
That's what I mean. That's kind of, well, okay.
Anyway, doesn't matter.
Okay.
Let's just say, let's not look at my Pornhub history.
Jesus Christ. So...
Catching up with Jack and Liam.
What have you been up to?
It was my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday for whenever that was. I know, of course.
It was towards the end of last year. Still accepting presents, if anyone wants to send me anything.
I don't think anyone does.
No?
No.
No, probably not. I've got one more year left, and then that's it.
Are you 29?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, one more year, and then it's all over.
I mean, obviously you're not 29, you're like 229. But I see what you mean.
Yeah. But, it was a nice little day. I went out with my family and got some Thai food, so that was good.
Did you sit in your wheelchair and get a blanket put over you while you had a little kip in front of the fire?
No, but the people at the restaurant found out it was my birthday, and then they brought out a cake and sang happy birthday, and it had chocolate on it.
Oh, God, right, yeah.
And I haven't
forgot that you don't like chocolate.
I haven't eaten it in about 2.5 years. And
Did you eat the cake?
Super awkward. So it was weird. It was like mint ice cream with a chocolate topping and a chocolate base. So
That's not weird. It's called mint chocolate ice cream. That's the flavour of ice cream.
Well, I cut the chocolate bits off and I just ate the mint bit. It didn't taste great.
You should have just eaten it and seen.
I don't like chocolate. Why would I eat it?
You said it's been ages since you've had chocolate, so you don't know.
Yeah, I don't like it. Don't want it. Anyway.
You used to love it. This is the thing. It sounds like I'd understand if you hadn't, if you tried chocolate.
I'm allergic.
When you were 3 and hated it, and then maybe tried again as a teenager and were like, oh, chocolate. But you ate so much chocolate at uni.
And then I developed an allergy.
I don't believe you.
Yes.
You don't just develop. You've developed 2 allergies recently. It's starting to be unbelievable.
What was the other one?
Your dog allergy.
That wasn't developed.
Well, it was getting worse.
Yeah. No, honestly, I was eating so much chocolate that it was just bringing me out in all this fat, and I just thought I had to stop.
That's not an allergy, but okay. I see what you mean.
Then it was Christmas.
Yeah, did you do anything, major on Christmas Day?
No, not really. Just nice, relaxing, chilled. It was nice. How was yours?
Yeah, mine was good.
Yeah? Did you get drunk?
Yep, got drunk Christmas Day, got less drunk Christmas, Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Even. Then, did I get drunk again? Well, not till New Year's.
Okay. How was your New Year?
It ended with so basically, when the place I go for New Year's is with some family friends.
Okay.
My mate Mikey, who's there, he made an alcoholic punch, which, honest to God, tasted just like apple pie.
Ugh.
So I was in a good way.
Oh, the thing is, when you say that as a drink, that doesn't sound good.
It didn't taste of pastry.
Okay.
But you know the taste of apples when they're cooked in an apple pie.
Yeah, quite sweet.
Yeah, it was like that. So I was like, oh, that's quite easy to drink. And then I was like, oh, what did you put in this? And literally, the way he makes these alcoholic cocktail things is he just pours a bunch of shit in.
Okay.
So it was horribly alcoholic. I had 4 glasses. He kept coming over and being like, yours is empty, have another one. Then we did shots. Then I was drinking beer. Then we played beer pong. And then I was sitting on a sofa with all my family singing karaoke
Yeah.
around me. I couldn't focus on the screen, so
Can we just
pause
pause for a moment, and I just want our listeners to just visualise this merry image of Jack sat with all his family on a sofa, just singing karaoke, drunk. Like, that's just such a touching, wonderful, beautiful
that's what we do.
image. Yeah, I know. It's like the image of a perfect, functional family.
Oh no, we're horribly dysfunctional.
But I just want us to have that snapshot in mind. Carry on.
I then stood up, walked to the toilet, and vomited in it.
Right, okay. So you ruined that.
And then when I came back, people were like, I went, I was just sick. And so, like, it was one of those ones where, you know when you're so drunk and you feel just so terrible?
Yeah.
You're like, I've got to be sick. I went and did that, and then I felt incredible afterwards. I was like, I feel so much better, I can talk to people again.
So you were back on the alcohol?
No, because I came back and they were like, you're really pale. And I was like, well, I feel a lot better, but I'm going to have a glass of water. And then we went home.
Oh, okay, so you ruined the night.
I didn't throw up until, like, it was 2 a.m. when I threw up.
Yeah, and you're like, I've thrown up, let's go home.
No, I've thrown up, and then my dad was like, oh, well, we've just booked an Uber.
Okay.
I was like, cool.
That sounds nice. Do you remember what my plans for New Year were?
You were celebrating your mother's birthday.
Yeah.
In the same pub you were in last time.
Yeah.
With a Elvis Presley impersonator, if I remember correctly.
You remember very correctly. And let me tell you, we went to that same pub on Christmas Eve, okay?
Oh, okay, so you were going there twice.
Yeah, and honestly, Christmas Eve, it was rocking. There was, like, a good mix of ages, but it sort of, I'd say, swung predominantly more towards the younger crowd, like, sort of my age, maybe a little bit younger. Made me feel...
So the middle-aged crowd, Liam, let's not undersell it.
Let's just say, attractive ladies and me.
Got you.
So that's what you want from a Christmas Eve shindig, you know.
That's fair enough.
And that was nice. There was a guy there with a little guitar singing. I mean, to be honest, he's what the ladies were there for. If they weren't there for me, they were there for the... But I was okay with that.
Yeah.
Because I was with my family anyway, so we was just having a drink, a little chat, and I was sort of like, you know, like you could see, like the ladies would look over and they'd be like, oh, I think he's that guy from Nerd on Nerd, but I don't want to... It's a bit awkward to go and talk. Are you
sure they weren't looking over and going, what's that old man doing with those wonderful people? Why is he sitting at their table?
I'm pretty sure they were sort of eyeing, but it's hard to tell. Like, I wouldn't ever try to imagine what another person was thinking.
No, because you've got a girlfriend.
Yes, I do have a girlfriend, but on the flip side of this, she wasn't there.
Of course, right, sure.
So that's good. The issue is, so that, you know, Christmas Eve...
Jesus Christ. Is Kat going to listen to this episode, Liam?
Fuck knows. Christmas Eve...
You forced her to listen to them.
So Christmas Eve was good, fun.
Yep.
New Year's Eve, I'd say even my mum looked young compared to the crowd that was there.
Well, yeah, your mum's like quite hot and young. Liam.
It was her birthday. Like, if you think I'm old, she's my mum. So she's naturally older.
Yeah, but I've always just assumed that you were, like, adopted.
Unfortunately, that's not how that worked.
Wait, so you're saying that your mum isn't another... Or she isn't another immortal being who has experienced the whole of human history?
No.
Well, I just don't understand.
It's confusing, on. But yeah. Put it this way. A lot of, like, 70-year-olds, okay? And then
yeah, 70-year-olds know how to party.
They do. They do. Problem is, I was looking around. We had the Elvis impersonator. He was singing his Elvis song. I don't know a lot of Elvis songs, Jack.
Yeah, I know the main ones, but then you hear other ones and you're like, oh, Jesus.
I looked it up. He had 149, like, songs that were in the charts.
Oh, Jesus, that is a lot.
It was either 119 or 149.
They're both high numbers.
Yeah, there's too many. I mean, perfect for a night, if you're into that, but when you only know, like, 5 songs, I think the time we were there were 2 songs that I recognised in total. And, you know, everyone's drinking, and all the old people were having a little boogie. Some of them were smooching, which is... I'm not against it, I just didn't need to see it.
Yeah.
Then Elvis had a little break, and you're like, right, here we go. We're going to get some tunes that I might actually know on. No, he put his own music on, and it was again some Elvis songs, some actual Elvis songs.
So he was an Elvis impersonator who, in his break, played actual Elvis songs.
Yeah, which just served to highlight the disparity between his impersonation and the real Elvis.
Yeah, that sounds like a terrible idea.
It was, and also just other hits from the 60s, like Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini.
I do like that song. That is a good song.
The thing is that the sort of music you want to be listening to as you ring in a new year?
Well, now, Liam, I don't know if you remember, but I did say I was singing karaoke with my family. I don't think anyone wants to hear that.
No, that definitely sounds like more fun.
It was fun, but it was painful music.
I think we managed to stick it out to about 10:30, then we bailed on that, just went back home, got more drinks, and then listened to actually good music.
Fair enough. So, New Year's Eve, at the stroke of midnight, you were at home.
I possibly annoying the dog, sort of like wishing him a happy new year and dancing with him.
Yep, got you.
He doesn't like it when I sing at him.
No, did you send a picture of him looking upset to me that day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, because his name's Bailey, it just so beautifully fits into other songs. Take, for example, Justin Bieber's Baby.
Yep, very good. I can see that.
And you think how many songs, Hit Me Bailey One More Time? There's so many that it just works, and he doesn't like any of them.
It's kind of beautiful.
Yeah, so like I would say New Year's Eve, the going out was a bit of a washout, but then the coming back was quite fun.
Fair enough.
But like, you know, I just want to contrast the image of you on a sofa with your family singing karaoke versus me surrounded by 70-year-olds who are like propping each other up, smooching their faces off while Elvis croons badly.
Yeah, I don't like to compete, but I do feel like I won that one.
Yeah. I'm happy to say you did. Did you do anything else over the holidays, maybe?
I did, Liam.
Oh.
I guest hosted, or just guested, I guess, on another podcast.
Where was my invitation?
Oh, they didn't want you. They said, we want the hot one.
That's...
And I said, oh, you got him.
Is that what happened?
No, they went, Jack, do you want to be on our podcast? And I went, yeah.
Did you say, what about Liam?
No.
Okay. Nice to be thought of.
You wouldn't have wanted to go anyway. The podcast, listeners,
no, I wouldn't.
Was called Laws of Wrestling. It's a wrestling podcast. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Jack, you don't strike me as the kind of guy that likes wrestling. And you are correct. I don't.
Actually, bullshit. I call bullshit.
Go on.
Jack's the sort of guy that likes to just sit around in his Speedos in a hot tub with his friends. Of course he likes seeing men wearing Speedos touch each other and throw each other around. Of course he does.
It's weird, because my favourite wrestler of all time is Rey Mysterio.
Okay.
Or Ultimo Dragon. They're both very good.
Yeah.
They actually wear, like, the most clothing. They both wear trousers and Mexican wrestling masks.
I like Mankind. Do you remember him?
I saw... So basically... So that actually does connect with what we did. Because
let's do it then.
I've never watched much wrestling. I used to play games, like the wrestling games on PS2, but only at friends' houses, because my friends all love wrestling.
Yeah.
So they used to, we'd do whole fucking nights of just playing wrestling on PS2.
Of course.
And I always picked shit characters, got beaten up very quickly, and was like, oh, what a shame. I don't have to play this round anymore. But so the whole point of this was they wanted to show me... There's 4 hosts on that show. Lawrence, Aaron, Sam, and Will.
Okay.
And each one of them picked a wrestling match to show me to try and see if they could get me to enjoy wrestling.
Okay.
So, and one of them that we watched was Mankind vs. Undertaker.
Was it the Hell in a Cell match?
Yes, where Mankind gets thrown off the roof.
Yeah, the thing is...
gets knocked out.
That is, like, a very iconic match, but it is honestly, like, 5 minutes of them just concussed.
Yeah, no, but the incredible thing about... So this is what I said, right? I haven't come out of it being like, oh, I'm going to watch wrestling.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. But what I did come out saying was, whilst I still don't like it, particularly, it is interesting to me, because one of them said, this just sort of proves, even though it's fake and scripted, like, the shit that these people are going through is still brutal.
Well, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, fair enough, because Mankind is legitimately... He doesn't get knocked out when he hits the table after being thrown off the top of a cell.
Yep.
But he then... He gets stretchered out, and then as he's about to, like, which is all legitimate, like, they were talking about all these, the actual interviews with Mankind and stuff since then, or after then.
Yeah.
And that's all legitimate. They were genuinely trying to get him out. He gets up and comes back, climbs back on top of the cell, then falls through the roof, gets actually knocked out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's the end of the match. No, they then continue to wrestle after he wakes up.
Yeah. I don't know if it's that match or it's a similar one, where the story I've heard is afterwards, he's like in the back room and like the medics are working on him and he's asking, did I use the pins, as they're pulling the pins out of his face.
It would be that match. That match had a lot of pins in his back.
Yeah.
He gets thrown on the pins twice. It's hot, like, and I don't like that. That to me is excessive.
Yeah, I think
all of it was excessive.
To be honest,
it's still very impressive.
That was when I used to watch it, which we're going back
it was
over 10 years now.
Yeah.
And I think that was like what they called the Attitude Era. So you had like Mankind, Stone Cold, The Rock, all those sorts were kind of coming up at that time. I think from what I've heard from like people who are still into it, they've massively toned that down now and made it a lot.
It's a lot less violent, but that's because it can't be violent nowadays.
I think they've made it more like child friendly.
It's because I've seen like a couple of recent matches like that. I think I was at a friend's house once and they had it on.
Yeah,
and like I don't know about child friendly. I get what people mean because it's less bloody and less brutal stuff, but I don't think it's particularly it's not aimed at children. I don't think.
Still. No, it is basically a soap opera for men.
Not.
No, because it
of it is. Yeah, some of it really is.
Well, the whole point of it is the matches are to like kind of fix feuds and stuff and storylines that are ongoing. Yeah. So the way I've always looked at it is you have all the soap opera bits and it just every story ends in a fight, basically.
Yeah, so it's basically a way for men to watch soap operas and then go, nah, man, I watch it for the punching.
Yeah, exactly. But
that's fair enough.
But I mean, you can equally say, like, when you read, like, the weekly superhero comics, they're equally, like, soap operas for, like, nerdy guys.
Yeah, but Liam, I unabashedly watch Bachelor, so...
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Watching anything.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, neither of us have any shame.
No, not at all. But yeah, so there was one other match in there. So they'd all pick these 4.
Yeah.
If you want to find out more about my opinions on wrestling and whatever, go listen to
where can they find it?
If you just Google Laws of Wrestling podcast, they used to be on SoundCloud, but I think they're just going YouTube now.
So if you go to YouTube and search Laws of Wrestling.
Laws of Wrestling.
Okay.
LAWS of Wrestling.
Yeah.
You should be able to find it.
So if you want more Jack Kempster without the better half, then that's where you can find him.
I think annoyingly, there was one bit, right?
Yeah.
That they cut in the final episode, but they said they might post it as like a separate short video, and I hope they do.
Okay.
Because it was maybe the best thing in the whole night, which is when they were introing the show, my friend Lawrence was saying, oh, so, doing the whole promote Nerd on Nerd thing.
Yeah.
And was like, oh, so yeah, you guys like talk about games, right? And I was like, well, no, we talk about like films and TV shows. And he was like, oh, right, yeah, like unconvincingly. Yeah. So I just turned around and went, oh, it's all right, Lawrence, I don't listen to your show either. And it was the best. Like, I've never been that quick with a comeback.
Well,
and we were all laughing, and then they redid the intro, and I was like, no, what? You've got to leave that in. I don't care that you don't listen to our show.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's funny.
Yeah, that would have been good for them to... I mean,
it was just the way he said it. It was like, it was all just slightly off of what we actually do. So I was like, yeah.
But, I mean, maybe they'll listen to this one since we're pimping them out so heavily.
I think a couple of them might listen, maybe.
Okay, well, in that case... sorry
I love the rest of you. It's just Lawrence who's a dickhead.
I'm sorry about what I said about wrestling. The thing is, like, I stopped liking wrestling at some point, and I can't pinpoint when. Or
well,
what the
I never
reason
got to watch it as a kid.
Okay.
Like, I was interested in it, because I've always thought Undertaker was quite cool.
Yeah.
But I never got to, like, watch it, because we didn't have the channels to watch wrestling.
I think they used to just show it on, like, Channel 4 or 5, on a Sunday morning.
My mum was weirdly, like, anti-Channel 5 for most of my childhood.
Oh, well, if you watch it on, like, a Friday night at, like, 9 o'clock back in the day, it was a little bit saucy.
I think that's what it was. But then she would watch Home and Away.
That's not saucy.
I was like, well, we're watching this.
Like, Home and Away...
That's raunchy.
Home and Away isn't saucy.
No, but I mean, like, it was like, oh, you can't watch Channel 5 because it's, got stuff you can't watch.
Oh, but they show Home and Away on Channel 5.
And then we'd watch Home and Away, and I'd be like, well...
Well, that's called hypocrite.
I love you, Mum.
I like your mum as well. I've never spoken to her, but I think we'd get on.
No, I'm sure.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think you probably would get on with my family, yeah.
Yeah. So is that it for catching up with?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's everything I've done.
So now we're going to do... Liam went to cinema, and now it's time for his spoiler-free review of the thing that he saw at the cinema, and that thing that he saw at the cinema was Ben Affleck's new film called Live by Night.
Is it any good?
Okay, so Ben Affleck's directorial efforts so far have been pretty damn good, to be fair.
Yeah.
This, I would say, is his first misstep, if you will. Like, it's not outright bad.
Okay.
The issue is, I didn't really enjoy, like, the first hour of it. It's a 2-hour film.
Okay, so that's half the film that you're not particularly invested in.
So it's based on a novel by Dennis Lehane. I might have said that wrong.
That's fine.
It happens.
Go with it.
And I think what's happened... Like, I haven't read the novel, but it feels like Ben Affleck hasn't been strict enough in kind of saying, this story strand doesn't need to be here. Or kind of, like, boiling it down to its essence or its, like, main focus point and, like, zoning in on that. It feels... kind of bloated and messy, especially in the first hour. By like roughly the midway point, this like character who's a member of the KKK gets introduced, and then it's like the film kind of finds its focus and suddenly becomes a hell of a lot better.
Ah, okay.
So the second hour has moments that are really truly very good, but it's like it can't recover after the first hour. The acting's all good. Like Ben Affleck, I'm a huge fan of his acting, and I think he does a good job here. The other person who it's worth noting is Elle Fanning.
Oh, okay. I know her.
Yeah, she was in Super 8, which I think you like.
Yes.
She was in another movie I saw recently called The Neon Demon, which is Nicholas Winding Refn, who directed Drive.
Oh, okay.
I thought she was really good in that as well. So I think it's kind of interesting seeing what sort of roles she's picking. And again, the role that she goes for here isn't exactly like a playing it safe. Like, she's 18 years old. Like, she's got that family name. You'd kind of almost expect her to like just rest on quite safe, easy picks. But she's
going for more interesting stuff.
Yeah, stuff that's a bit more challenging and a bit more like out of the box. So I kind of have to appreciate that. So she's good. Ben Affleck's good. Just it doesn't come together satisfyingly enough. And then, even though the second half is better, the end is really underwhelming.
Okay.
So it's like 2.5 out of 5, and I'm aware that is me being favourable because I'm a Ben Affleck fan. So, not one I'd recommend.
No, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of like gangster movies anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I should have mentioned what it's kind of about, but meh.
I think people will know.
1920s, Prohibition era, Ben Affleck's a gangster, trying to, right some wrongs, I guess.
Sure.
Not worth seeing though, so you don't really need to...
No,
there's no point me like building it up and being like, and it's really exciting if it's not worth seeing.
No, that's fair, Liam. That is fair indeed.
So that's like, obviously with Christmas and New Year and birthdays and all that sort of stuff, that's the only film I got to see, unfortunately.
Well, I made a change this week, Liam.
Okay.
This week, last 2 weeks. Yeah. And I went and saw a film as well.
Oh.
I went, Liam, to see Rogue One, finally.
So I reviewed that on the last episode?
Yes.
So...
You weren't a huge fan.
I think I said...
upset everyone on Twitter.
I said 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
I said...
Not a huge fan.
I said Revenge of the Sith was better.
Yeah.
Come on, Jack, tell me why I'm wrong.
You're wrong because it's a good film.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me why.
Because it's an enjoyable... I don't know what your problems were with it.
Oh, I think I covered them in the last episode.
It's not the best film ever.
No, it's not. You're right.
It's not the best Star Wars film.
It's very average.
No, it was good. It was enjoyable. I left being like, oh, cool, awesome. I'm glad they did that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of hope in there.
Why?
Just in the film, there's a lot of hope.
Right.
And, like, obviously, if you enjoyed it, I'm not going to take that away from you. So I don't want to kind of come along and be like, well, here's the reasons why it's not very good. Like, you enjoyed it, and that's...
I think you're wrong.
I want to know what it was that you specifically enjoyed.
Okay, fair enough. I enjoy getting more of the universe of Star Wars filled in by a film.
Yeah,
I think
a book could have done that. Do you know what else could have done that?
Yeah, and I've read... Liam, you're talking to the wrong person if you're going to try and say, well, you could have just read a book. Because I fucking have, mate. I've read a lot of the Star Wars Expanded Universe books.
But do you know what else did that? The opening crawl in A New Hope just explained everything you witnessed in that film in about 2 sentences.
Yeah, you're right, Liam. But do you know what else would have explained? Like, you could say that for A New Hope. You could go, well, why was there a film made about it? Because they could have just gone, Princess gets Data to Rebel Alliance. They got Death Star.
But what you're missing there is that the film is actually good.
Yes, as is this one.
Well,
they have interesting characters.
Do they?
K2SO is the best droid of all time. I love him.
He was good, but I think I said in my review last week that he was the highlight.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm saying, just because you like something doesn't mean I can't like it.
No.
I know that we're used to arguing with each other, Liam.
No, I mean, I'm saying we agree on that point, but you said interesting characters as if there was more than one.
Yeah, there were.
Okay, carry on.
I really like I can't remember the fucking names of them, but the dude who's clearly got Force-sensitive powers but isn't a Jedi.
The blind guy.
Yeah, and his mate. His mate's less interesting, but he's interesting.
Yeah.
That's 2.
Yeah, I mean, I
liked the baddie, not Darth Vader. Thought the Darth Vader stuff was unnecessary.
It was, yeah.
Until the final bit. I just didn't need that middle bit where he makes a stupid pun.
Oh,
That's the thing.
I mean,
I don't think this film.
We've got to be careful because we don't want to go into spoilers.
Oh, okay, yeah, true.
But that was terrible.
He makes a terrible pun. I don't think that's a spoiler.
No.
There's a bad pun.
There is a bad pun that just feels like they fundamentally misunderstood that entire character.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Which does...
But, like, the space battle stuff, I like all that stuff. I thought was awesome. It's just cool CGI happening. The stuff with the AT-ATs, that's awesome, because you get to see AT-ATs. Anytime I see an AT-AT, I think it's awesome. Like, I don't see what was wrong with the film.
Okay. So, out of 5?
4 out of 5.
That's quite high for a film that has issues. And
yeah,
if we remembered your rating last time, so if I remember rightly, 4 out of 5 was very, very good or great?
I can't remember. I think it might be great.
Okay, great. So
I think 5 was excellent.
Yeah. Okay.
I think 4.5 was very good.
No, I thought that was great, and then it was very good, and it was quite good.
Oh, okay, so maybe this was very good.
Alright, so very good. Okay.
I also saw it in IMAX, and it's the first time I've seen a proper IMAX film.
In 3D?
Yeah.
How was that?
Incredible. Like, IMAX is genius.
I know, I saw Jungle Book in IMAX 3D, and was really impressed by it, but every time I suggest a cat, let's do an IMAX 3D, it gives me a headache. Why would I watch a film if it's going to give me a headache? It's like...
Has Kat seen IMAX 3D?
No.
Because that was, like, legitimately... I'm used to watching, 3D films, and you always get some, if you tilt your head too much, you get crossover because it's using the non-powered glasses.
Yeah.
So you get a little bit of crossover. That's why you're getting a headache, because the 3D's slightly off, right? But IMAX, because it's using those powered ones that literally just flick each lens up and down, effectively.
Yeah.
Or on and off. There was no bleed across from the images. It was the best 3D I've seen.
Yeah, it's done really, really well.
Yeah, honestly, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
And the screen is so big.
Yeah, it is. It's really good.
The sounds are so loud.
Yeah, they are.
It's incredible.
Yeah, okay. Well, so that's the good thing about Nerd on Nerd, I guess, is you can get 2 different opinions. One right and one less right.
Yeah.
So, we'll let you decide
I'd say one wrong,
that goes.
Quite frankly, but less right is fine. Yeah. I get that you want to, take a lesser blow.
I was more just sort of giving you an olive branch, to be honest.
You take your olive branch and shove it up your ass.
I'd rather not. Highlights, Jack. We mentioned at the start, we're going to look back. Let's look back at 2016, shall we?
Year in review.
What were your favourite Nerd on Nerd moments?
I liked the bit where I was funny.
What bit was that?
The bit where I was funny. It's a lot of the bits I'm in, so it's hard to pick a favourite, so I've just gone for the general.
In general, okay.
All the bits where I'm funny, which is most of the bits I'm in. The bits where I'm right. That's a lot of them too.
Good luck finding those.
And I like the bit where you said something.
Okay.
I can't remember what. I needed a third one to fill in the list.
I quite liked our anniversary special, where we both wrote some erotic fan fiction.
Yeah, the fan fiction was good.
I enjoyed that. And the bit I enjoyed the most is when afterwards you said that went better than you thought it would.
Yeah, it did.
And you said that I was right to suggest that as an idea. And that was probably the highlight of the year.
I mean, that's mainly because Tom's story just reduced me to tears.
Yep.
I loved your story. I liked Amanda's story. I liked my story.
Yeah.
Tom's
story, yeah, the one where he put a lot of effort and work into it.
Yeah, literally did shit all, and it was the funniest thing in that goddamn episode.
I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, but when we talked about D&D and we had the Carlos the Dwarf conversation.
I think that was early days Nerd on Nerd.
Yeah, but bear in mind, we started November. So
probably was an episode, yeah.
Yeah, that was probably, yeah, so that was good. Because also bear in mind, I didn't start going to D&D until like late February, early April time, I think. No, March time.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I think Carlos the Dwarf was up there. And I don't want to, just sort of toot my own horn like some of us do when it comes to this section. So I'll say another one of my favourite bits is I think you had some good quips in our episode with Mark Dawes. I thought you did some good funnies there, Jack. Well done.
Thanks, Liam. I'm not going to change my top 3.
No, of course. That's why people hate you. And
whatever.
What
not the ones that like Star Wars, not anymore, Liam. You turned all of them.
If they like Star Wars, genuinely, they probably didn't like Rogue One.
I don't think that's true.
You
watched one YouTuber review it who liked Star Wars and was like, I don't like Rogue One.
I was told on Twitter that the reason why I didn't like Rogue One is because I'm not a real Star Wars fan.
That's insane. People that say that really annoy me.
Yeah, so that's the sort
People
of
don't
company
get to
you're
pick
in.
who real fans are.
Yeah, that's the sort of company you're in with people who like Rogue One. Is the sort of people that think that. So
Oh, one person. Who
Yeah.
was it?
just some person.
I don't
on
want it to be
Twitter.
like, I suddenly thought, what if it's like Tom?
No, it's no one we know. It's just some random person on Twitter who.
Alright, well, random person, if you're listening, that's not a very nice thing to say, mate.
Yeah, he took
If it was a
umbrage.
joke, then fine.
Oh wait, no, he was serious. We
That's
had a
insane.
Twitter conversation about it.
You can't pick who's a fan of things you like.
What about? Do you have any highlights from like? I feel like it's a bit presumptuous to say fan interaction, but like audience interaction.
No.
I think
I liked when
Brandon...
the fans all accused me of being... What is it, Liam? What am I?
Oh fuck knows, mate.
Oh,
Not as
I
good.
can't remember. What was that?
Nothing. Well, yeah, what was it? It was something about you being nonsensical. I think.
That was it. It was nonsensical.
Yeah, that was
Yep,
good.
That was my favourite fan interaction of 2016.
Mine was when we had that tweet from Brandon Lapani. I can still remember it. Zombies are all the rage these days, lol. So
Yeah,
you know,
that was pretty good.
sticks out. So, like, we need to say, because it's polite, we appreciate all of our audience interaction.
Yeah, I do.
But if we're doing highlights, I would like to shout out a couple of people, if that's all right with you.
No.
All right then, fuck, won't bother.
No,
Moving
go
on.
on. Shout out
No.
the fans.
Look, if you listen and you tweet us with any sort of regularity, we appreciate it and we're very thankful, and we hope that you enjoy the show, and we hope that you carry on listening for 2017.
Yeah, we do. That's true.
So there we go. That's that bit done. Films. What were your top 3 2016 films, Jack?
Well, in my list, Liam, it's going to annoy you. I haven't seen many films that were new this year, is the issue.
Yeah, you've been a bit lazy.
It's not laziness. I just play more games than you. So I have less
look at me,
time.
I'm playing my games. Don't want to go out the house because I've got my games to play.
Yes, and you do the same with films.
Yeah, but I have to go out the house to watch those sometimes.
Exactly, sometimes.
The thing is, like, I need to get off my high horse, because the only reason why I've been to cinema so much is because this year is when I got my cinema card.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If it was like the year before, I'd be in exactly the same boat as you. I was like, nah, fuck it, it's too expensive.
Yeah, so my top 3 films are Rogue One, Deadpool,
Wait,
and Hateful
is
Eight.
that in order?
No, I can't think of an order.
Okay.
Because I liked all these films, but like for different reasons.
Okay, so just go through it a little bit slower. Rogue One,
Rogue One.
which you gave 4 out of 5.
Yep.
Deadpool, how much out of 5 would you give that?
Can't remember.
And then...
I think it was quite high. I think I gave it like 4.5 maybe?
Okay, so that would go above Rogue One.
Yeah, but like I don't rate things based on these systems. It's like women. You can't just rate women based on a number, Liam, because that's mean. So I don't rate films based on a number.
Films aren't women.
I rate them based on a colour. Rogue One was blue, Deadpool was green,
And The Hateful Eight
is yellow.
Well, if you've heard anything more stupid than that so far this year, tweet us and let us know.
What are your top 3 films, Liam? You dick?
I've done an order because, you know,
'Cause
you
you're
would.
obsessed
When it's a
with the
top
list.
3, when it is a top 3, it would make sense to put those in an order.
I'll be honest, I just
So-
didn't think of an order. I wrote them down and then...
Jack, you're a free spirit and I wouldn't want to change you. Because I like that I'm more popular.
Sure, whatever. Go on, what are your top 3 films?
I won't be after this episode. Especially after this next bit. My 3rd favourite film, The Jungle Book. John
Good film.
Favreau.
Yep.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did too.
2nd is a film I don't think you've seen, and you need to rectify this, called Sing Street.
I haven't. You did tell me about it.
Yeah, it's so good, Jack. It's so good.
I'll get it watched.
And then my favourite film of the year currently is Batman vs Superman.
Sorry, what do you mean currently?
Right, so here's the thing when it comes to, like, I've seen on Twitter and stuff, a lot of people were getting stressed because they were like, oh, the year's ending and I still haven't seen all these films. I'm like, you know what? It's not locked in. Like, this is my list of top 3
I see what you
films that were released in 2016.
Yeah, so that the list could potentially change just because you haven't seen the film in 2016.
Doesn't mean it wasn't released then.
Yeah, true.
Like, so there's a few films that released in America or film festivals over here in 2016 that aren't getting a cinema release until like the end of this month.
Yeah.
I'm still counting them as 2016 releases. So, like, one of the films I'm most excited to see is La La Land.
Yeah, I want to see that too. That looks good.
It does, and I fully hope that will, you know, enter my top 3. But just because I didn't see it in 2016 doesn't mean it's not a 2016 film.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I get what you're saying. I agree with you.
But yeah, so number one, Batman vs Superman. It's the
Which is insane. I honestly can't believe you put it at number one.
I had just the most fun in the cinema watching that film, feeling like a kid again. It's the only film that had that impact on me, where I was just sat there, just overjoyed and feeling like I was 12 years old again.
Fair enough.
So that's what films in 2017 are you looking forward to?
I, Liam, don't know what films are coming out in 2017.
Okay, I have a
Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that'll be good.
Yeah, well, yeah, it might be.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the best ones they've done, so hopefully they'll keep it.
It is. It's just like after their kind of recent track record, I'm really losing hope.
Yeah, whatever. We all know your opinion on Marvel.
I have a Marvel in my top 10 of what I'm anticipating.
We're not doing a top 10 of what we're anticipating.
No, I'm just saying,
got
I have my own top 10 just for fun, and there's a Marvel at number 8. So it's not like I hate Marvel.
Go on. I honestly, I'm not paying enough attention to it. I'll tell you what. No, I've got one more.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I wasn't excited about at all
Yeah.
until I saw the trailer when I was watching Rogue One in IMAX.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It's Dunkirk.
That does look good.
It looks fine, but the trailer had not appealed to me particularly. I was like, oh, it looks good, but
Okay.
I'm not like excited.
It's got Harry
Seeing
Styles
that
in
in
it.
an IMAX screen with the audio going, honestly, blew me away. It was
I
incredible.
think that will definitely be an IMAX trip.
Yeah. Oh, like, I really want to go see it in IMAX now.
Yeah, I mean, just to see Harry Styles that big on screen, right?
Not really that, no. It was more when they're sitting in the Spitfire engines, and because the sound systems are so good, it feels like it's vibrating, and you're legitimately like, holy shit.
Okay. So, yeah, that's at number 7 for me, and the Marvel film that's at number 8 is Thor Ragnarok, which I'm actually looking forward to more than Guardians, I think.
Okay, that's kind of weird.
Well, I love the idea. I don't know if they'll actually follow through on it, but I love the idea of the way it's been pitched as like a Thor and Hulk road movie.
Yeah, I think I think you're thinking it's going to be something other than what it is.
Yeah, it is, because it's Marvel.
No, just because you're insane, but carry on. What are your actual ones that what's top of your list?
Okay, top of my list, number 1, Baywatch.
That shouldn't be a shock to anyone.
It shouldn't. We've got Zac Efron and The Rock with their shirts off. So, I'm excited. Number 2, and I'm surprised this wasn't in your top 3, to be honest, is...
It probably will be, because I've just probably forgotten it's a thing.
Star Wars Episode 8.
Yeah, there we go. That is, like, top of my list.
Like, how did you forget that was a thing?
Because, Liam, I get panicked and hadn't made this list ahead of time.
I want to give an honourable mention to 2 films, if you don't mind, before I give my number 3.
What is this?
Well, there's a lot...
Oh, let's do a top 3.
No, here's the thing. There's a lot coming out next year that is worth getting excited about.
Oh, go on, tell me.
We've got The Disaster Artist, which we spoke about on the last episode. Oh,
Which
sorry.
one's that?
I got the title wrong. It's called The Masterpiece. It's based off the book The Disaster Artist. It is the one by James Franco that's all about the making of The Room.
Right, got you, yes, yeah.
So that's... I thought that's worth getting excited about.
Oh, we should go see that together.
Yeah, I mean, the only issue is I don't think it's going to get a very wide release, so it might be...
That's fine, Liam, we'll find somewhere.
I'll probably have to come up to that London and see it with you up there.
That's fine. We'll watch The Room first, then we'll go and see Disaster Artist. No, Masterpiece.
Yeah, that sounds good. The other one that I'm very much looking forward to is The Fate of the Furious.
I have no idea what that is.
It's Fast and Furious number 8.
Oh, fair enough.
So, that's exciting.
Is it the last one?
Fuck no, Jack.
Well, then why is it called The Fate of the Furious? That sort of sounds like an epilogue.
I think it's not the last one. They've definitely planned a number 9. So the way I think it's been done is in like trilogies. So I'm excited. I saw the trailer for it and oh man, Vin Diesel, Dom, he's got issues. The family is breaking apart. Oh, it's going to be so good.
I honestly don't care.
There is another film that I think you will care about though, Edgar Wright film called Baby Driver.
I know nothing about this.
Okay. And then in at my number 3, Justice League. I'm looking forward to.
Oh, Jesus. I'll go and see it because I assume we'll do a special, but...
Well, we have got Wonder Woman first, so I think my excitement for Justice League will either increase or decrease based on how Wonder Woman goes.
We'll see.
I really want them to do Wonder Woman well. I feel like...
Also, that's bullshit. Because DC will fuck you over with Wonder Woman, you'll convince yourself you loved it, and then you'll just be more excited for Justice League.
I enjoyed Suicide Squad.
Or so you tell us.
Why would I lie?
Because you're full of lies, Liam.
Yeah, but why would I lie about something like Suicide Squad and lie about having what is the unpopular opinion? It would make more sense to lie and be like, I don't like it.
You're not doing it for popularity. You are so excited about DC's potential that you're convincing yourself that the things they are actually doing are not what they're doing.
I'm so excited by DC because they're taking risks and trying new things and not playing it safe.
Yeah, no, that's true. Like putting trailers in the middle of their films and pretending it's not a trailer.
Yeah.
Brand new stuff. Martha, that's come up with a really bullshit way to end a versus film.
I can't defend
you're
Martha
right.
bit. No one.
I know, that's why I always bring it up.
Yeah.
Because I know it's the one bit you won't defend.
No, I can't. But do you know what? I still had fun.
Whatever. Anyway.
TV. Alright, so there was a lot of TV out last year, and I don't think either of us really watched much of it.
No, it turns out, looking through the list of what was released in 2016, we missed a fair amount.
Yeah, like The People versus O.J. Simpson got a lot of rave reviews.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Okay, moving on.
That's what I mean, Liam. Like,
alright, so what was your top 3 TV order in fucking coloured or whatever it is you're doing this time?
No, I'll do it in top 3.
Are you going to conform?
Yes.
Alright then.
I think, Liam, that at number 3, it's got to be Westworld, because I haven't finished the series yet, which is mental. But that's because me and my dad are watching it together, and he's not as into it as I am.
Okay, fair enough.
So, and I don't want to be like, no, we've got to watch it, because I don't mind waiting and watching it as we're ready sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's honestly, I think it's such a good series. I think it's a really cool idea, even though it's based off, an old thing. They've not, like, I don't know, it feels totally, tonally different to the film.
Okay, I haven't seen any of it, and I haven't seen the film, so...
I think, honestly, it's worth watching the TV series.
Is it worth watching the film first?
You probably will anyway.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do.
Yeah.
But I watched that film and loved that film for it being like a camp sort of cheesy... Not camp or cheesy, but, because it's so old, there's some stuff in it that you're like, really? That's what we're doing?
Okay, interesting.
But, like, it's a good film. I found it a really fun watch. And then this TV series is, like, just actually, like, deep thinking exercise almost.
Okay.
Like, do you know what I mean? It's not like that, but it's like Game of Thrones where you're trying to, like, unravel plots and stuff.
Yeah, I've heard it's got mystery to it, but it's not as infuriating as, Lost.
Yeah. No, exactly, it's not. It doesn't feel like it's a mystery that they're deliberately not answering.
Yeah, okay.
It's like a mystery that you're very clearly... you're following a path that is leading to the end of the mystery.
Yeah, got you.
So that's my number 3, but only because I haven't finished it, so I can't, say whether it will be finished on a strong note. Then I think Game of Thrones, number 2.
Okay, and, what happened in Game of Thrones? Because we did a whole special on it, so...
Yeah, I've got no idea, mate. I don't remember. I just remember that I liked it.
There was that really cool battles episode.
I mean, there's sort of one of them. Oh, God, no, the battle episode was bad. Maybe Game of Thrones is going to get knocked off this list.
Why
wasn't the Game of Thrones... The battle was the... when the bastard fought the North, right? Are you talking about that?
Yeah.
Because I had loads of issues with that because of all the tactical decisions they made. Do you remember?
Oh, fucking hell. All right,
carry on. Do you remember
on.
I had that huge issue because it wasn't tactically correct?
Why is it in your top 3 then?
I don't remember.
At number 2 of all things.
What else happened? There must have been other good scenes.
What, Tyrion met Dany?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there was loads of good stuff. It was just that one scene that it's not even like I had issues with it. There were just some tactical mistakes that were made in the combat.
Okay.
Like, it was still a good series, and I really like Game of Thrones.
Okay.
At number 1, Liam, Stranger Things.
Good choice. Like, it just missed out on my top 3, but I can't fault you for including it.
No, that's fair enough. I just really liked that whole series. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah. No, it was.
I love all that weird extra dimension shit. The Upside Down.
Yeah, I hope that season 2 kind of builds on what they've done.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, because it's only had the one season. It's one of those shows, like, I think most shows have it, where you watch a first season and you're like, that was good, but
where do they go from here?
Easily go tits up. Like, I can sort of see stuff that they've set up where I'm like, oh, that would be interesting in season 2.
Yeah,
and like, oh, that's a cool idea. I hope that's where they're going with it, sort of thing.
The thing is,
they could very easily mess it up.
I think they had the choice at the end of season 1 where they could have just wrapped it all up and just been like, this is it, done. But they very deliberately made the choice to have a couple of things by the end left unanswered for a. And it wasn't like, sometimes there's things that are left unanswered and you can live with it, but these were like, no, these are questions that that they're going to come back and answer in a later.
100%. Yeah.
So what I mean is I hope that when they do come back in season 2 to answer those questions, that the rest of the story around it can like be as good as season 1 was, basically.
You know what would be quite interesting? Literally, I've just thought of this.
Okay.
Right, would be if they did a sort of Stephen King thing with it, because you know, like how in It, you've got the story when they're kids,
and then the adults.
Yeah, that would be quite interesting. I don't think they will.
No, what I kind of like the idea of is that, and again, they've already said they're not doing this, but it was that season 2 would take place in the same town, but would be a completely different story, and just you might see like characters cross over a little bit.
Oh, that would have been quite cool, yeah.
Yeah, I really like that idea. But again, I feel like they would have had to kind of close off certain questions.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So, and I think they've said that season 2, obviously with the kids aging, they're going to have to set it like a year or so after the events of season 1.
Yeah, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No, I would rather they do that than just try and kind of like make the kids look younger or something.
Yes, because some shows do fall into that trap.
Yeah, and
it
never goes well.
I'm only 14, and you're like, well, you're being played by like a 25-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so what are your top 3, Liam?
Alright, so all 3 of these I've recommended to you throughout the year, and...
Have I watched any of them?
No.
Cool.
But who's surprised by that?
Me. I'm shocked.
I'm not.
Go on, what's the top 3? Hit me with number 3.
In at number 3 was a show on Netflix called Love, which stars Gillian Jacobs. Mm-hmm. Do you know who she is?
Nope.
Britta from Community. Got you. Yep. It was written or created by Judd Apatow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't like a mind-blowing show, and it took me a couple of episodes to kind of get into it. Like, I think we discussed it on the podcast before, and I was saying how the first episode, I had like a real issue with one scene in it, but the rest of the show was so good, and it's the sort of show that I'm really excited for there to be a season 2.
Yeah, fair enough.
So it's definitely a sort of show that I would have liked you to have watched. Yep. In at
number 2.
In at number 2, a show created by and starring Will Arnett, who is Job in Arrested Development.
I know who Will Arnett is.
Well, I mean, come on. You can see why I explained it for you.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. But I like doing that. I like knowing the occasional person and then getting annoyed when someone thinks they have to tell me.
So it was a show called Flaked, and I remember just watching the whole season, and throughout I was just like, I could never get a grasp on like the tone of the show and what it was they were going for.
Oh, yeah, I do remember you telling me about this.
Yeah, but by the end, that's kind of what I really liked about it. Like, the fact that each episode, I just didn't really know what I was getting. Like, yeah, it was just so good, and it's such a just brilliantly acted show. Like, Will Arnett gives such a good performance. I'm so happy that they got a second season, because I think it was a little bit risky at some point, because I don't think the show did particularly well, which is crazy. I think it just didn't find an audience for whatever reason, and probably because people like me who watched it and loved it would recommend it to people, and then those people just didn't fucking listen.
In all seriousness, like, I think it might be getting harder for shows to get the audience they used to get. Like, you get stuff like Game of Thrones, which gets a huge following, but then, was on Sky or whatever. I think Netflix originals. But
the other thing to bear in mind is Game of Thrones, to get to the following it had now, I think the first, 2 seasons went by with a relatively small fan base.
Oh, did they? I always assumed they had quite a big following at the beginning.
I didn't jump on board until season 3. I was aware of it, but it was only around season 3 that I started noticing it getting talked about a lot, where I felt like, oh shit, I'd better check this out.
I think that's true, but I think it was still a large-ish following. I think they had a decent following season 1 and 2.
Because I know, Breaking Bad, for example, I know that you don't like it, but that again, the first couple of seasons just went by unnoticed, and then about season 3, 4, people started paying attention.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I think the issue with these Netflix originals is, one, there's so much content out there now that you think these shows are actually competing with shows like Game of Thrones that have had those 3-4 years to build up that fan base. Yeah. So because they're not immediately getting massive numbers, the concern is that they're not going to have the chance to fully develop.
Yeah. Because weirdly, there was another show, it didn't make this list for me, but was a Netflix original that I hadn't seen any advertising for. I just randomly found it on there. Yeah. And it was called The White Rabbit Project, and it's the 3, Mythbusters. Yeah. It's the 3 other people, not Jamie and Adam. Yeah. But Carrie, Tori and Grant.
Yeah.
And it's they've got this Netflix original where it's not the same as Mythbusters, but they're doing a lot of, like, they do quite a few builds and stuff. And I was like, started watching it and was like, this show's incredible. How have I not seen this?
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard of that. So again,
no, that's what I mean. There's like this weird, Netflix has this weird, sometimes I don't think the stuff's being advertised properly or in the right way.
I think they're kind of relying on word of mouth. And
yeah.
The issue is someone like me will watch it, will try and spread the word, and no fucker will listen.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It really is.
Maybe they need better spokespeople.
I don't think that's the problem.
I think it might be.
Then my
number
one favourite show would be the second half of season 6 and the first half of season 7 of The Walking Dead, because that all came out in 2016.
So I can't believe I didn't put them on my list.
I think when you finally do get around to watching it, you're going to feel very silly that you haven't, that you're not in a position where you could have put it on your list.
I think it's very apparent that I have definitely watched them.
Okay. And then we got...
I had that whole thing about what my favourite part of this season had
been. That was convincing no one.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I like the arty shot of the zombie from a distance.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really well done. I'm enjoying this.
The thing is, you're enjoying it, but at some point, something so major is going to happen that I'm just going to accidentally say it, and then you'll have a little shit fit because I've spoiled it.
Yeah, then I just won't watch it.
Well, you're only hurting yourself then, aren't you?
No, I think that would annoy you as well.
Like, you're depriving yourself from great entertainment.
I haven't hit the limit that I set yet, so it's
Which is the end of the season.
Yes, how many episodes do I have left?
Well, the season's on hiatus at the moment.
There we go. I've got plenty of time.
Comes back in February, so... I think it comes back on like February, I want to say 16th, around that time.
I'm totally fine, Liam. I'll get there.
From that point on, you'll have 8 weeks, I believe.
Sorted.
Maybe 9, because they might like skip a week if there's like Super Bowl or some shit.
Yeah.
The thing is, I know that you'll like it.
Oh yeah, no, dude, I'm aware that I'll like it as well.
And I know that when you start watching it, you'll watch them all in like a fucking day. Don't forget, you promised that you would have at least a 2-day break between the season finale of season 6 and the season premiere of season 7.
Yeah, it's fine.
So just factor that into your fucking calculations.
Will do.
Dickhead.
But no, genuinely, that's good that it's got to the top of your list.
That sounded so insincere.
I know, it was meant to be sincere as well, is the thing.
Yeah. Video games.
Do you want these in an order?
Yeah.
Fair enough. I think that the order is... I think Watch Dogs 2 is at number 3.
Okay, and I haven't played it.
It's really good. I got it for Christmas. And
honestly, I've got so much left of The Witcher to do that I ain't going to get around to it this year.
I know you won't, but I'm still going to try and sell it to you anyway.
No, cool, go for it.
Did you play the first Watch Dogs?
And like, you know me, I'd have to play that first.
Well, yeah, look, the thing is, right, Watch Dogs, the first one, got a really bad rep because the way they'd presented it in the run-up looked like it was going to, people started to get their hopes up in a big way, and it wasn't the game that people wanted was the issue. But it was a legitimately good game. It's Grand Theft Auto with hacking, like you can change the world around you sort of thing.
Okay.
And so it was an interesting concept, and it was good. But it wasn't the game that everyone wanted, so a lot of people were annoyed. This second one, they haven't done any of that with the advertising. I don't think they promised anything that we didn't get particularly. The story is so much better than the first one. I liked the first one's story, but this story is just kind of cool and awesome. I love the characters in it. And it's just fun driving around a city and being like, hack the traffic lights and there's a car crash. Hack someone's car and make it turn left into oncoming traffic. It's just mayhem and I love it.
I mean, it does. Like, it's hard to kind of visualize how that works in a game in an exciting way.
Well, so the way that they've always sort of like shown it is when you're getting chased by the police and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you can go through like there are these.
I'm just picturing someone like running, like holding a laptop and just typing.
No, so it's literally it's like a context menu. So when you're looking at something that's hackable, you hold L1 and press a direction and you hack it. Or no, you press one of the buttons, so X or square or whatever, and it'll do whatever that action is.
Yeah.
But like this one, some of the most fun levels I've had are like levels where you're trying to sneak into somewhere to hack some hard, some database, and like you're sneaking past people and you're using these little drones to figure out where everyone is.
All right.
Honestly, it's really good. I thought it was a really good game.
Yep.
I think number 2 is going to be... Oh, it's a toss-up on these two. I don't really know. Okay, number 2 is Pokemon Moon, which we're going to be talking about later, so I won't say too much. But that's number 2. And then number 1 is Overwatch.
Okay.
I love Overwatch. I think it's a really fun game.
So, despite the fact that you've probably played a hell of a lot more games than I have, it's interesting that our top 3 has 2 of the same games on.
Yeah, I mean, that's... Maybe we're more similar in games.
I wonder if you'd have played the game that's on my list that isn't on yours, if they would have made your list.
It probably would have, to be honest, because I know what's on your list.
Yeah.
For games. It's the only one that I actually knew what you had.
Exactly. So, yeah, my top 3, just to go through it quickly. Again, this is more out of these are the 3 that I played this year, less these are my favourite. Like, I just didn't have time to play a lot of games because The Witcher takes so fucking long.
Oh, such bullshit, you're only hurting yourself.
Number 3, Pokemon Moon. We'll talk about that later. Number 2, Overwatch, which we've done a whole episode on, so just go listen to that. You might remember in the episode, I wasn't that impressed with the game. This is what I mean. And then number 1, Uncharted 4, which was actually bloody brilliant. Such a good game. Such a good game. It sort of took the 3 games that had come before it and just finished the story off in a way that was just excellent. I think
the only reason I haven't played the Uncharted game is because I know that to really get the benefit of 4, I am going to have to play 1, 2, and 3, which isn't a bad thing. It's just, like you said, it's a huge time sink to play these games.
Except, like, I think number 1 you can probably, like you as Pet particularly, could probably complete in like 10 hours. Number 2 probably doesn't add a whole lot onto that. And then number 3, you're probably looking at like 15 to 20 hours.
That's still quite a long time.
Okay.
That's 35 hours, Liam, that you've just told me I've got to spend.
And how long have you already put into Pokemon Moon?
37 hours.
There we go then. That's 3 games you could have completed.
I really like Pokemon, Liam. I really like it.
Well, should we get into that then?
Yeah, no.
No? No, we've got housekeeping. Yeah. We have this show fucking sorted. People are like, oh, you guys don't know what you're doing. Bullshit.
Housekeeping! What have you got to tell us, Liam?
We're not going to bother looking forward to TV shows and games that are coming out in 2017, because...
I forgot that we did that.
I don't really know what's coming out.
Good games come in, good TV come in.
Hopefully...
That's what I'm looking forward to.
I hope that the 3 shows that I picked on my top 3 TV, their second or next seasons will equally be good in 2017.
Yep.
And as for video games, I don't know what's coming out.
Probably lots of good stuff.
I mean, I'm sure, but I probably won't get to play it.
No, because you'll still be playing Witcher 3.
Yeah. And once I finally finish that, we'll probably start Diablo 3 or some bullshit.
Yeah, well, we are going to be due... By the time you finish Witcher 3, we will be due another video game episode.
Oh, yeah, it'll be like 2020.
All right.
Housekeeping. Let's do this. Anything to add in housekeeping?
No.
What about DVDs? Should we do that?
Yeah, we should do the DVDs.
Do you want to set that up?
All right. So, as listeners may know, Liam is currently trying to deal with a slight money issue that I have discovered, which is that he has spent far too much money on movies. So, yeah. Liam.
Yeah.
How's that going?
I've got an update to this situation.
Okay.
So last time, I just like had counted the amount on one shelf and then did some like rudimentary math and tried to figure out how many I had roughly.
Yep.
And I landed on a number of about 700, I think you might remember.
Yes, I do remember.
Last night, I actually went through, because I figured if we're actually going to start doing this, we should start keeping a proper tally.
Oh, definitely.
I counted properly. Roughly, because I might have like maybe missed a box set or 2 here or there, but roughly 1,118.
Okay, so that's
my to watch.
That's 400 more.
Yeah.
Than you originally said.
Before I counted, I was really pleased with myself because I had watched 6 this week, which I thought was a really good number. I had also brought 6 new ones, but in my defence, right, before you go off on one, I picked up a 4K player, so I had to get some 4K films to go with it, right?
Oh, of course.
So that kind of explains why that happened.
Now the issue, Liam.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go off on one.
Yeah.
It's not my money, buddy. It's yours.
Mm-hmm.
You're a big boy. You can spend it on whatever you want.
Yeah.
Right. The issue you've currently got. I'm looking at this as an outside observer who just enjoys the fact that I've made you a little bit sad with the amount of money that you potentially have wasted in air quotes, let's say.
I mean, is it wasted if I watch them?
That's so the issue that I'm seeing at this point in time.
Yeah.
Is I believe for the last 2 weeks last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
That we've spoken about this, you have come in with one number and left with the same or higher number.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the miscalculation. I'm talking about the fact that you'll watch films and then have bought the same amount of films.
Yeah, which, to be fair, is much better than buying more than what I've watched.
Well, no.
No, yeah, it is. It is.
It is. But
So-
the best would be to lower that number.
Yeah, no, okay. In an ideal world, that would be perfect, right? In an ideal world, people would just pay me to, like, do this podcast, for example, and then I wouldn't have to waste, like, 9 to 5 a day doing a job that's soul-destroying. I could crack on with this list, couldn't I?
But here's the thing, Liam. I get having a, to watch pile of DVDs or 4Ks, whatever, right? That's fine.
Yeah.
Surely that gets to, let's say, 7 films, right? That's a week if you're watching one a day.
Yeah, imagine that.
So it gets to 7, and at
Yeah.
that point, I would go, oh, I've increased to 7.
Right, no, okay, stop.
I'm not gonna buy anymore.
I see the fatal mistake you've made. You've made a humorous mistake, Jack.
Go on.
What you've done there is you haven't factored in that your mood could change, okay? And it's good to have options. So you've gone, I've got 7 films, right? But what if you're in the mood for a film that 7 doesn't cater for? Like, for example, maybe a musical. Oh, I don't have one of those in my 7. Shit, what do I do now? You're fucked. Absolutely fucked.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. Now, you've made a terrible mistake, Liam. A terrible mistake in that.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe that you have 1,118 different emotions that you go through. You are very robotic, my dear friend. And I believe you maybe have 3 settings.
I'll be honest, I go through phases, and at the moment, I'll even go through phases where I'm just like, I don't want to watch any films, and I just like watch TV or play video games. But at the moment, I've noticed a trend in what I'm watching.
Is it musicals?
No, it is a phase of films that feature main characters who are older than me, but who have not got their life figured out at all.
Oh, that's so perfect.
Yep.
I wonder what that says about you, Liam.
We had an email.
Go on.
So we've had an email from Kat Fyson. My other half. Some would say my better half, but they're wrong. It's titled Livid.
That's always a good subject line.
And because if you remember, in the last episode, she was whinging that we didn't speak about her enough. So we spoke about her a lot in the last episode. Still not happy. Like to point that out.
I can sort of see why.
I mean, I can't.
I think we were a little bit mean last
No,
episode.
okay, but here's the thing. Oh, talk about me more. So we do. Where's the problem? Well, this is where the problem is, Jack. Titled Livid.
Please read it angrily.
Dear Sirs, following your Christmas special, which was supposed to be filled with happiness and joy, like all things Christmassy, except spending prolonged time with your family, I write to complain about the description of Liam's long-term suffering girlfriend as a dictator. Putting the presents under the bed did not at all restrict Liam's access to the bedroom, as we have a drawer under the bed, which keeps the gifts well hidden, as long as he does not open said drawer. I hope that a formal apology is issued with great haste. I also agree that Kat should be mentioned more, but only nice things, please. Best wishes, and a Happy New Year. So, what do you make of that, then?
Well, Liam, what that is saying to me
Yeah.
is that I owe Kat an apology.
What that's saying to me is, would I
I
get that?
apologise, Kat, because Liam did not make it clear to me that there was a drawer in the bottom of the bed. I had been picturing a bed much like my bed, which is open for view underneath. I can see what's under my bed. Now, Liam, you didn't make that clear to me. I feel like I walked into a trap set by you to turn me against your girlfriend.
My takeaway from that, would I get that much earache from Scarlett Johansson? Maybe think about that, Kat. Anything else in housekeeping, Jack?
Not that I can think of.
Oh, no? Okay.
Culture swap?
Swap my culture. Oh, wait. Someone's literally just tweeted us, hot off the press, 4 minutes ago. They've tweeted us saying, in 2017, they're hoping that superhero films die out. Just kidding. ... Or am I? That's from Jason Michael at film_faculty. What do you make of that, Jack?
I get what he's saying. I think he's saying that he's sort of fed up with them, but also enjoys them, which I get.
I think it's the issue that we've sort of talked about, but not maybe in such a positive way, in that we don't want superhero films to stop, but we do want them to start being more innovative.
Yes, mate, yeah. That's a fair way of saying it, yeah.
Culture swap. Swap my culture. Pokemon.
What do we do this week, Liam?
Pokemon Moonjack.
Yep.
Now, I don't know.
Made it on both of our top 3 game lists.
So it has to be good, right?
You'd imagine.
Oh, fuck my life. Right. bear
Go
in
on,
mind,
you start me off, Liam, with...
we had a tweet.
We don't really need to overview, do we? Because it's Pokemon, guys.
We had a tweet from @BigPickReviews saying, so looking forward to the Pokemon thoughts. They've been playing Sun, and after X and Y totally lost them, this has been such an unexpected improvement.
Yeah,
So,
I totally get that.
I wasn't going to get this game, and as it was coming out...
Yeah, you made a big deal this year about being over Pokemon.
Yeah, because of Pokemon Go, which isn't a Pokemon game.
No, that's fair enough.
And then I wasn't going to get this game, and then I saw like the trailers and stuff were coming out, and then I saw some early reviews that made it sound like I liked the changes. I liked the sound of the changes they were making. So it got me curious. And then you was like, "Oh, why don't we do it for the show?" I distinctly remember that being what happened.
Sort of.
And I was like, "Oh."
Got a feeling that's slightly.
I was like, "Oh, I guess if you're gonna make me."
Probably because if I'd been playing it and then you were like, "Well, let's just do it for the show. I'm gonna get it."
Yeah. So I got it. Unfortunately, I got the wrong one because I thought you had Pokemon Sun.
Yeah, you remembered a conversation in which I told you I was getting Sun, which never happened because
It did
since I
happen.
saw the Moon Legendary, I've always been getting Moon.
It was before the Legendary came out. You were like, "I'm getting Sun. I like the name. I like the sound
Before
of Sun."
the Legendaries got announced?
Yeah, honestly,
What are you talking about?
this happened. Just
No, it
chill
fucking
your
didn't.
boots, Jack. It happened.
Whatever, carry on. So we've both got Moon, which is fine.
It's
'cause
fine.
We have the GTS,
Yeah.
which is the Global Trade System.
And okay, here's what I like.
Go on.
Graphics look pretty cool.
Yep, the graphics are a massive improvement.
It feels like there's more of a story to this game.
Yep, definitely.
And
We should clarify very quickly. I would like to clarify, not clarify, point something out. And it's not. This isn't. We can. I might argue about you with this. I might argue about this with you later.
Yep.
But right now, I am just pointing it out, and I'm not trying to cause an argument. Like, you are on the second island of the game.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So story-wise, you haven't seen as much of the story as I have.
No, you're further in the game as I am.
I'm not saying that yet. I'm not saying that as a. It's better that I'm further or anything. I'm literally just pointing out to people that I've seen more of the story.
Yeah, you've played more of this game than I have, which is fair enough. We can say you've done. I think you said 38 hours, was it?
Yeah, it's 37 hours 50 minutes.
And I've done 20 hours and 44 minutes.
Yeah,
which is more than enough time to have a fair opinion on this game, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that at all. I'm literally just saying that, like, yeah.
And if anything, so that could give you a good idea of how long you could spend playing this game. If you think I'm on the second island of what is there 4?
Yes.
So not even halfway through the game, and it's taken me nearly 21 hours. So one of the things that I think about games is they're really good value for money, just in general. Like, you think like a new Blu-ray, that's like a tenner for like a 2-hour film. You factor in extras.
So you're paying £5 for an hour, whereas
like maybe if you factor in extras, you get like another half an hour to an hour of content, maybe. But you think games, like 30, 40 quid, 20 plus hours at the moment.
Yeah,
good
that's
value.
Incredible value for money.
Good value. Another thing, it feels like when a new Pokemon game is released, it tries to capitalise on like whatever the new feature is of that current like handheld system. So like it will have a 3D feature, which I'm pleased to say this just abandoned. Or like they'll make a big deal about the touch screen and stuff like that.
I don't know if that's fair. I don't think they particularly did.
No, it felt like they did.
You say they made I think you're over-emphasising. I know what you mean. They add a feature and they're like, look at this cool feature we've got. But I don't think like...
okay, so what I'm trying to say...
sold on the 3D scene.
No, but what I'm trying to say is this feels like that wasn't a consideration. They've taken what they've needed to, but stuff like the 3D, they've gone, you know what, we don't need it, let's leave it.
I mean, it's because it's on the same console as the last one, effectively.
But the last one you could have in 3D, right?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. They wouldn't have advertised a feature...
But what?
Like, look at this new 3D we've got,
then,
because they've already done it.
But why would they just not include it?
Probably to save space on the cartridges, I'd imagine, or just because they didn't feel it was necessary. I don't know.
It isn't necessary.
Don't work for Game Freak.
It isn't necessary. It added nothing in the last one, and I'm pleased they got rid of it for this one.
That's fine.
Okay, so with Sun and Moon, the other thing I like is they've made the changes between the two a little bit more distinct. Like there's a 12-hour offset between the two, which I know you weren't a big fan of when I was talking to you about this.
Yeah, I'm still not. It's not... My issue with it, so yeah, one game takes place, when you're playing in the daytime, it's nighttime in your game, which is Moon, and then Sun works on the correct sort of system. And, I don't know, it's fine. I get why they've done it, and I like that it's, this different thing between the games. I just sort of wish that they'd done it as an option at the start of the game or something, because the way, what that seems to me is they're trying to adjust for people.
Well, yeah, but no, they have done it as an option at the start of the game. They go, which game do you want to buy?
Yeah, no, but the actual reason people pick the different games is usually based on what legendary you can get and what Pokemon are restricted to your region, to your version of the game. I picked this game because I like the legendary for Moon, and I like the evolution of Rockruff that you can only get on Moon as opposed to the Sun one.
Okay.
So that's why I picked Moon, was because I was like, some of the Pokemon in this are the ones that I prefer to some of the Sun ones. And then the time shift it's not annoyed me, it's not been a huge issue. It's just I wish it had been an option.
Okay. Well, it wasn't.
It's only an issue for things like, so the only time it's going to bother me is when I've got an Eevee now, but I haven't evolved it, and my favourite evolution of Eevee has always been Umbreon, which is the dark version, which you get by making it affectionate and evolving it in the daytime. Unfortunately, when I get in from work, my game has shifted to night. You only get it by evolving it in the nighttime, so when I get home from work, it's daytime in my game.
Yeah.
Which means that I'm going to have to, on a weekend, do it.
Yeah.
Which means that I'm restricted. That means 5 days. I catch the Eevee on a Monday, and I've got to wait 5 days before I can do anything with it. It's not a huge issue. It's just annoying.
Okay, fair enough.
It's not a problem.
But equally, if your favourite was Espeon or whatever the flipped version.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's not a huge issue that I've got with the game, and I'm like, they shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, for me, it's raised that very minor issue that hasn't impacted my enjoyment of this game at all. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. The story, if you've played any Pokemon game, you kind of know what it is. You're new to this area, you're given a Pokemon, and you're set off on an adventure to collect them all. Or, I don't know, beat the bosses.
Before, not even getting into that thing that we know we're going to fall out about.
Yeah.
Before we fall out.
Yeah.
The good thing about the story in this one is that, traditionally, the Pokemon story has been very bare.
Yeah.
You usually rock up in town, your mum's like, see you later.
Off you go.
Have a fun journey. You then beat a couple of gym leaders, meet the bad guys.
Have a rival who pops up every time.
Yeah, you've got your rival following you around doing stuff. And, it's always very cookie cutter. The story's very similar.
Yeah, each game is followed
X and Y,
similar thing.
X and Y had a slightly better story than the others.
Yeah.
But then this one, I'm genuinely attached to characters in this story, which I haven't had in a Pokemon game before.
Okay.
I think Nebby and Lily.
Ellie was close then, come on.
Yeah, it was. Honestly, the characters of Lily and Nebby, I think, is so cool. I love them. Nebby's this little cute ball of, for us, moon and stars and shit.
Oh, is he different in Sun?
Yeah, I think they get...
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, maybe he's not, though. Ooh, you know what? I don't know. I'd assumed, because I think... I don't know if this is spoilers for you, Liam. Do you care?
Not massively.
Right. Oh, yeah, listeners, if you do care about the Pokemon story, which I guess you probably don't particularly, this might be spoilers. I had assumed, or I know, that Nebby evolves into our legendary.
Yeah.
Right? And the Sun game has the other legendary.
Okay.
So I assumed there was that he looked different as that starter.
Yeah, possibly.
But maybe he doesn't. I'm very quickly looking it up, because that's interesting. I don't know how easy it's going to be. Yeah, no. She just has Nebby.
Okay.
So maybe Nebby evolves into both. Oh, I don't fucking know. I don't care enough either.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's... You know what, I like the changes they've made. I like they've stripped away the gym lead. It makes sense that not every area is going to follow that, gym leader progression.
I think it's an interesting look at what else can be in the Pokemon world.
Yeah, and I like that you have, these, are they called, island kahunas? Is that what they're called?
Yes.
And they've got, different stats or whatever, or different abilities, and I like that there's that added element of strategy in those battles.
It's the same concept as the gyms, in that you have especially when you're fighting the actual kahuna, it's they have a type.
Yeah, but there's definitely
type. But it's more the trials.
Yeah, the trials.
Instead of just being beat this gym leader, it's I've trained this weird Pokemon. You've got to do a specific thing to figure out how to get to that Pokemon and then beat it.
Exactly, and that's the additional strategy element that I like.
Yeah.
The issue I'm finding is, so as people know from our episode where we talked about the division and stuff like that, which I think also came out last year, didn't it?
Oh, possibly.
Interesting it didn't make either of our lists. Anyway, I very much like to explore. When I play Pokemon, I want to catch them all, because that's what Pokemon is to me. So I've been going around, and I've caught all of the Pokemon I can catch in each area, which is why in like 21 hours, I'm probably a lot further behind when even you were at the 21-hour point when you were playing.
Oh, dude, yeah, you're miles behind.
Yeah. But, you know, that's where I
like
get the pleasure
each
out of it.
island gets longer and longer when you're on the islands.
Yeah, and that's...
One of the islands has three individual trial people that you have to beat before you can fight the Kahuna.
Yeah, I think that's the island I'm on.
Ah, okay.
Now, the second one. But yeah, so that's where I get the joy out of it. The issue with playing the game like that is it becomes so easy, because obviously you can't help but over-level because you're trying to catch all the bloody Pokemon, and I'm not just going to keep running away. Like, might as well just destroy them.
Yeah.
But now it is... I'm like easily 10 levels above the like trainers that I'm fighting when I've progressed with the story, and it's just a cakewalk. And I'm not even like... I have literally 2 Pokemon that are pretty much on my team, if you will, and the rest are just interchangeable as I wait for them to level up. So I have a team of 2 that just steamrolls everything, and then I've just leveled. And so here's where I think...
I don't think you can complain about that.
No, but here's where I think they've gone wrong. Okay.
No, right. Go on.
Because
it
could easily be fixed. In the older games, they gave you the EXP share generally towards the end of the game. Like, you'd maybe beat the Elite Four or something, and then you'd get it. And to me, it makes so much sense giving it at that point, because it's
you always got it. No, you always got it fairly early on. You didn't beat the Elite Four to get the EXP share. In Pokemon Red, you got it for showing someone that your Pokedex had 50 Pokemon, I believe. That could be wrong, but it was very early on.
I do not recall it being early on in the early games. Let's do a fact check on this.
Okay, EXP share Pokemon Red. It's on Route 15, so not that far.
At least
EXP share as long as you've recorded 50 caught Pokemon in the Pokedex.
Right, so that's still... Okay, it's not at the end, but...
You have about 20 hours in if we go by how many Pokemon you've got.
Okay, so let me say, I would prefer it then if you did get the EXP share towards the end, because the thing is that... Right, there's going to be 2 complaints to this, so let me explain my issue first.
No, I'm going. Yeah, I'm honestly, I am letting you make your points, Liam.
Yep.
I'm thinking about my rebuttals, but I am waiting for you.
Okay, so the EXP share basically lets you split your experience against all your creatures when they fight, so they don't even have to fight. So I can just steamroll everything with my 2 main and still level up my 4 others, get them to evolve, swap them out for the next one that I want to evolve, right?
Yep.
And that is just so easy. It makes the game so easy. Now, here's what you might say. Why don't you just turn off the EXP share? Why would I?
No, I wasn't going to say that.
I mean, no, but listeners might be thinking that, right?
Oh, okay.
Because it is something you can turn on and off. And I just feel like, well, they've given it to me. I might as well use it.
I mean, I could understand why the listeners would say that, and I don't really understand your counter-argument being, why would I? Because you don't like that it's easy.
Yeah, but equally...
So I get what your logic is. I get that in your head you're like, yeah, but why would I? Because I'm making my Pokemon stronger. But if you're not enjoying what that's doing to your game...
It's not that I'm not enjoying it. Why would you do
it? That's like finding a glitch in a game and being like, well, why would I play the rest of this level? Right. I know I can cut through.
Jack, it's not that I'm not enjoying it. It makes it too easy. Okay, that's the issue.
So it sounds like you're not enjoying the fact that it's easy.
No, it's fine. I wish there was like a way of just making the game harder. I wish there was like a hard mode that you could select at the start, and you wouldn't get things like EXP share, and you would get like harder battles and trainers.
The issue with that is they can't limit what items you get because of the competitive play.
I don't give a shit, Jack.
I know you don't, but this is my issue, right, with what you're saying. Is I get that for you that would work.
Yeah, it would.
But in all seriousness, I know what you're saying. I get that you know that I don't agree with the way you're playing it. I think it's the wrong way to play. But even without that,
I should just like steamroll through the story?
No, because I'm not steamroll through the story. Like I said to you, I've explored every island. I went back to the first, second, and third islands and went to all the places that I hadn't been before.
Yeah, but you haven't caught all
the
Pokemon.
I'm not dissing the way you're playing it.
You haven't caught all the Pokemon.
Right, listen.
You haven't caught them all.
You made your point. Let me make my point.
Can you just agree that you haven't caught them all?
I think that the majority of players play it the way, not necessarily the way I am, but a way similar to the way I am, right? Which is, you go through the game.
Yeah.
You play, you stay in some of the islands longer than others, you play the game, you move on when you're feeling bored of an island, whatever, right?
Right.
But they're still making progress, whereas you're making progress because you're catching the Pokemon and you're completing your Pokedex, right?
Which is what you're meant to do.
You're not moving on the story, okay?
Yeah. Well, I am. Once I've caught all the Pokemon, then I'll move on the story.
Right. So you're moving through the story very slowly, right?
Yeah.
If they take away the EXP share or give it to you a lot later,
yep.
The issue you've got then is that because the majority of players aren't playing it the way you're playing, like where I've got now, I've got to a point where even though I've been using the EXP share and my Pokemon have been leveling up, I've got to a point where the game is still... I got beaten in the first boss fight, like one of the boss fights I've just had. I got beaten because even though I've been doing that and I've got, my starter Pokemon's been on my team the whole time, he is 2 levels higher than her Pokemon. So even though I've been just training that Pokemon effectively, they're still higher than me.
Well, no, because you just figure out the type difference and you train up the type that is stronger than that.
Yes,
one.
which means that you've then got to grind, which is what I'm doing. That's fine. But what I'm saying, Liam, is if you take away the XP share, what you've then got to do is you get to that point, and I'm on an island where everything's level 40, I think, the wild Pokemon, or maybe 50.
Yeah.
So I then have to go and find a type that's going to beat her type.
Yeah.
Because I haven't been leveling all my Pokemon, the ones that are strongest, I think I discovered it was Ice. I've got a very strong Grass Pokemon that's potentially going to beat her, but I want to get a couple of others because she's got a lot of Pokemon.
Yeah.
So it then means I've got to train like some level 10 Sandshrew, which is Ice type in this game. I've got to train that up to level 50 to stand a chance, which is a lot. If I didn't have the EXP share, it'd be even harder because I'd have to go all the way back to Island 2 and train against level 10s there. And then just keep moving forward
you
as the thing got... Yeah, if I didn't have an XP share, I would.
You stick it out at the front, you swap it out, and it would get...
Yeah, but they take hits that way. There are things with quick attack, there's stuff with pursuit. A lot more Pokemon have moves that stop things. There's Scary Face, which locks your Pokemon into a fight. There's a lot of ways that your Pokemon can die in this game.
You'd be fine.
No, you're not listening. Legitimately, these are things that have happened to me, Liam. I've accidentally left a Pokemon at the top of my party, gone somewhere else, and immediately been hit by Scary Face. I think it's Scary Face that makes you locked in combat.
Yeah.
Or not Intimidate. There's like a Pokemon ability, so they don't even have to use a move, and it locks you into a fight.
Well, maybe just don't fight those ones then when you're training.
You know how the grass works, right?
Yeah.
You don't walk around going, Wingull, Wingull, Wingull. There's a Wingull. You just randomly get one of the Pokemon from that region. So all I'm saying, Liam, is I get what you're saying, and I get your issues that you're having.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the reason they haven't done that...
Okay, here's how they could fix it then.
Okay.
If they wanted to, right? Why not... And this is just... I'm sure you'll have a reason, but why not have there be less different Pokemon available earlier and then gradually increase that later, so I'm not spending as long catching them all and progressing at the same rate you would be.
Okay, so I don't remember if I actually spoke to you about what my argument for the way that you should do it is.
Okay.
So I might have said this to you before.
I think... Okay, let me see if I'm right, okay?
Go on.
You think, play through the game, complete it, pretty much, and then go back and catch.
No, not complete it as such.
Well, complete the Elite Four or whatever.
No,
okay.
Not at all. I don't think you should get to the Elite Four before you go back and catch things. I've started going back and catching things already, and I'm not at the Elite Four.
So how should you play it then?
Like I've just said. So like you said, getting further in the game, and then you go back and catch stuff. But then I know what your argument's going to be, is you're like, well, they're there, or why would I do that? It means that my Pokemon's so much higher than these level 5s, why would I bother?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But the thing is that a lot of the later islands have the same Pokemon that the first island has, and you can catch them at a higher level.
No, but I don't like catching Pokemon at a higher level.
But that's not... This is the thing, right? When usually I feel like a lot of my arguments are maybe me being like stubborn about something.
Yeah.
And your argument does make some kind of sense. In this case, I honestly can't understand.
Because the lower level you catch a Pokemon, the stronger it is when you level it up.
Yeah, but you don't care about EVs or IVs, and you know you don't. And also, I think you think that's more meaningful than it is. That's important if you start doing the competitive stuff, because you're playing against people that have done that with their Pokemon. But in the actual main game, if you catch a level 50 and train it from there, it's still going to be as strong as a level 60 wild Pokemon or a trainer Pokemon in the game. But it only matters in competitive play.
I don't have that attachment to it. I don't have that Pokemon who's been sat in my computer box for like however long, waiting for me to pick him.
I don't think you have that either, because you're using your main Pokemon to fight. I don't think you're getting attached to any of the Pokemon you have in your party, because you've over-leveled your mains.
Well, no, because the issue is... I've deliberately chosen Pokemon that I know are going to be in my party for a while because their like final evolution is quite late. Or, so like, for example, I always keep my starter in my party, and I've currently got a Pikachu because I looked up its move list, and it learns a move at like level 52, which is when it's then the best time to evolve him into Raichu, right?
Okay.
So those two, they're going to be there for a while. I've also got a Pikipek, because his like final evolution is like in the 30s, so he's going to be there for a while.
Even that's insane. I've already got the third evolution of Pikipek and dropped it from my party.
I'm not there yet.
That's what I mean. Like
I've
I did that
just
very early on, Liam.
I've just got my main up to
does
level
it not
30.
limit you hugely that you can only fight? Because no matter what on that first island, you're not going to get any high level Pokemon.
No, but I don't want high level
Pokemon. So you're getting
Pokemon.
small amounts of EXP, even with the EXP share, which makes it smaller to the Pokemon that you're trying to train in your party.
But I'm catching them all, Jack.
But that's fine. You could do that later. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why you have to do it now.
It doesn't make sense for me to go back when I'm really big and strong and catch them all. It makes more sense for me to be catching them when my Pokemon are at that level that I should be catching them. And that's why I try and have a lot in my team that are that level, because it makes more sense for them to be there, logistically.
No, but you're not using... Like, okay.
Sometimes I'll let them have a little, like...
But that's what I mean. If you were using them, then that argument would make sense. That it makes sense for my level, whatever, 12. I can't remember what level the first island is.
Yeah,
is it like 15?
It's up to like 15, I think.
Okay, so say you've got a party of level 15s and you're training on some level 15s, or you're trying to catch a level 15 in that area. So you're like, well, I've got my level 15s here because it makes sense. So why would you use your high level one?
So what I have
your
been
logic
doing,
is that this makes sense,
but
your logic doesn't make sense because that's like Ash walking around with 5 level 1s and then being like,
no, so I haven't been doing that.
New beginner guy.
I have my 2 mains, okay, and they're like backup, right? They're like, oh, shit's getting real, chuck in the main.
A minute ago you said that sometimes you let your low levels have a go.
Let me finish.
I don't believe
I'm explaining my party to you. I have my 2 mains, okay? My Pikachu and my starter, the fire cat thing. Then, I have like my I've just traded one out, to be fair, but I had my 2 mid-tier, which was a Picky Peck and a Wingull, okay?
Yep.
And then, I had my 2 that were just like easy to evolve, switch them out, so like Caterpie, the bug types, get them, just evolve them, boom, done, okay? And that's how I've been doing it. So I've been like alternating between the first 4, depending on if they're strong against the Pokemon I'm finding most frequently in that area, so they can just boom, super effective. And that's happening at the moment. For example, I've got a Rockruff that I'm just getting up to level 25, evolve him, he'll be gone, and an egg that I'm carrying around. Eggs can't even fight.
Honestly, I really want to understand. I really do, and I honestly can't. I can't grasp my... Because to me, honestly, the way it looks is you're making this game harder, not in a difficulty sense, just in a long, drawn-out sense. Because what you could do, Liam, like, legitimately, this is a strategy that people do, right? Yep. There's a Pokemon called Smeargle, I think.
Yeah.
Who learns moves that you use on him.
Yeah.
So what people do is, mainly people have been using it to catch shinies.
Right.
Where you give it these specific 4 moves, whatever.
Yeah.
I've been considering doing it, but just with 2 moves, which would be a move that puts them to sleep.
Yeah.
And hold back, or the other one that leaves it at 1 health no matter what.
Full swipe.
Yeah, that's it. Full swipe, and I think my Snorlax had hold back for a while.
Yeah.
Right? So you get that to a high level, and then when you're like, oh, you know what, I kind of want to catch that Pokemon that was on the first island, whatever. You go back.
Yeah.
You catch it.
Yeah.
And then you carry on with the main game, and it like you're not.
That doesn't sound at all fun to me, though.
But I don't think you're enjoying this game.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I don't think it is. Honestly, the way you talk about it is not the way that someone that is enjoying a game talks about a game.
The thing is, what I've learned while playing this game is I really, truly am done with Pokemon. Like, I used to really enjoy catching them all.
Do you understand what I'm saying, Liam?
Yeah,
do you get what I mean when I say I don't think you're enjoying this game?
What you're
and then
missing,
you say, no, I am.
What you're missing,
but I'm done with Pokemon.
What you're missing is this is how I've always played Pokemon games.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That's what I think what you're missing, Liam, is that I'm not trying to tell you that...
I wouldn't find it fun to just
you haven't played it that way, so you don't know.
I've played
That's
it that
like you
way
saying
in the
I don't
past.
like chocolate. I haven't eaten it for 20 years or whatever bullshit it is.
When I had Pokemon Yellow, I rushed through that game, and then I did what you're suggesting, where I go back and I catch all the things, and it just felt so unfulfilling. At least this way, every time I catch everything in an area, I get that little feeling of satisfaction. I go, good job, Liam, pat on the back, on to the next area, and I feel good.
But I just, honestly, you're going to get to the end of this game, and you're going to be like,
I'm not.
The Elite Four was so easy.
I'm not.
All right, well, let's say you played this game for the rest of the game.
But I'm not.
But no, wait. If you're not going to do it, if you're not going to finish the game, why bother catching the Pokemon? This is insane.
Because I want to catch them all.
You're not going to, though, because you just said you're going to stop.
I will probably... I will either... I probably will stop, to be honest.
You won't be able to catch all the Pokemon if you don't defeat the Elite Four.
Okay,
because you do that and you unlock some of the legendaries.
Here's the thing. If time was not an issue, I would complete this game. But
so if time's an issue, just do what I'm suggesting.
It's still going to take, another, 18 hours to get to where you're at?
No. I think you could do it a lot quicker than I have. If you really wanted to, you could power through this. Because I've been doing what you've been doing. I've been swapping out my last 2 slots, I think, to get some of the evolutions that I really want on my team.
Yeah.
If you just went for a straight-up party, if you looked up the builds that you need for each kahuna, because I've looked up
where's the
Cerebi to get the evolution levels. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that's fun.
No.
I wouldn't do that. I haven't done it for any of the kahunas, which is why my party at the moment is woefully unprepared for the woman that I'm fighting.
Yeah, okay, honestly, if I had more time in the day, I'd have probably completed Witcher 3 by now, and I would be happy to finish this game off. But while it is as a Pokemon game, it's one of the better Pokemon games I've played. It doesn't quite come up to Gold and Silver; those are the best for me, but it's close. The issue
when you say Gold and Silver, do you mean Heart Gold or do you mean
the original Gold and Silver?
Fair enough.
Those just blew me away. I loved the fact that you completed them, and then you had a whole new island to explore. Well, old island, but still. It just hasn't, gripped me enough that when I'm not playing it, I'm thinking about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I think it's apparent why. I think it's obvious.
I don't.
I don't understand how you can't understand why this game hasn't gripped you. I honestly think this might be your problem with games.
Is that I'm too focused on completing them fully?
Yeah, in all seriousness, this isn't me trying to diss the fact that you want to complete games,
because
I understand why you do, and I've accepted that that's the way you like games.
No, because Jack, here's the thing. If the game is actually truly good, it doesn't bother me. So the reason why I try and fully complete them is because if I'm not really massively enjoying it, that's the way I get enjoyment out of it. But take my game of the year, Uncharted 4, I have not 100% completed that game. But because I had so much fun playing it, I didn't feel the need to.
But it's not like you've tried to experience the Pokemon game.
Of course I have.
Because you haven't left the first island.
Yeah, I have. I'm on the second island and I'm smashing it.
Yeah, 20 hours in, mate.
Yeah, and I'm smashing it.
Yeah, but that's not not trying. You didn't leave the first island till you'd caught every Pokemon you could on the first island.
Yeah.
That's not trying the game to see if you enjoy it and then deciding to complete.
But I want to catch them all.
I think if you'd got to if you'd got to Island 3 and then been I don't want to do this, I'm going to catch all the Pokemon, then I would have maybe understood it more and been fair enough, you've done some of the story. Maybe not even Island 3.
You know that's not how I play games.
But that's what I'm saying. Your argument just then was the reason you don't play games that way is because of this, but it's not that. Because you're very clearly saying, but that's the way I play games. So you can't have it both ways, Liam. You can't play games one way if you like them, but actually the way I play games is this. Because that's the same thing. You're doing the same thing either way.
I'm not a gamer like you are, Jack.
It's not about being a gamer. Pokemon wasn't made for gamers, I don't think.
I think it was.
Honestly, I think a lot of people just play this game because it's fun.
And it is. It's totally... Okay, and that's the other thing. I can play it without thinking about it, which is fine.
Yeah, it's a really good game to have on when you're doing other stuff.
No, I can't multitask.
Oh, I watched YouTube and stuff while I'm playing it.
Yeah, I can't do that. So earlier I was trying to watch a YouTube thing while I was playing, and I wasn't picking up on the story of the Pokemon game because I was focusing more.
What happens is if I get to an actual story bit,
yeah,
I'll pause the YouTube and be focused on that.
Yeah,
But it's mainly if I'm walking through a route and just fighting trainers.
No, I like to give it my full attention. But like I said, it's definitely one of the better Pokemon games. It's just I think it's my favourite into Pokemon. It. Yeah, and if you're into it, great. If you loved Pokemon Go when that came out, definitely this is Pokemon. My issue with Pokemon Go wasn't really Pokemon. The thing with it is, one, it's going to take a lot of time. You have to have a lot of free time to put into it. Even if you played it your way, you're still easily looking at 30 hours
to be where I am. But and
that's not even at the end.
I know what you're saying, and I agree with you.
Yeah,
that it is a long game, Pokemon, but it always has been.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
not an argument for why that's a good thing.
No, I mean, again, it goes back to it's good value for money. I just don't have the time for these games anymore. That's the issue. That's the crushingly sad fact of it. Is back in the day, I racked up 100 hours on Pokemon Red, easy. I have other things to be doing now, though.
That's the thing. I've started to get to a point where you hit an age, right?
Yeah.
Where you are effectively an adult.
Effectively.
We have both passed the limit of where we can pretend that we're children. We are technically, legally adults.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you look at other adults and they say, oh, I don't have time for games anymore. And usually that's when they've got kids and stuff. And then I'm like, okay, you got kids, I can sort of see why you wouldn't have time.
Yeah.
I understand that. But I am someone who, I do volunteering on Wednesdays. I'm out doing stuff with my friends most weekends. A lot of nights after work I'll be doing stuff. So when
I wouldn't say a lot.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
We do
maybe
catching
not
up with like every
recently
other
I
week.
haven't been doing as much.
Yeah.
But there was a period of time where, like, for 2 months I was doing stuff. I think I had like 2 nights free a week.
Okay.
We're doing the podcast one night a week, and then I edit on one weekend.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It just, when someone says to me, I don't have time to do this.
No, but okay, so it's not it's not a case of I don't have that amount of free time. It's a case of I don't want
other things that you're doing.
Yeah, I don't want to put that free time into playing a game when I could be putting that free time into watching a new TV show or a film or something.
I just wanted to make it clear
from.
to people that is what it is.
Yeah, so
you're not. It's not that you. Yeah.
Like back in the day, like back when I was at college or whatever, I could easily watch a film and then put 5-6 hours into a game, easy. But nowadays, I maybe would get like 4 hours tops, like to myself in an evening. You chuck a film in there. Now it's 2 hours left. I need a little bit of time to dick around on the internet.
How are you only getting 4 hours?
So there's things like washing up, cooking, all that sort of adult-y stuff that has to be done. Takes time. Yeah,
it takes about at most
an hour.
Really struggling, half an hour to wash up. I mean that's like if you've had a full.
Don't forget, I'm a slow eater.
That's fine. I'll account for that. I'll allow 45 minutes for the eating.
Yeah,
so that's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
You finish work at 5:30, so we're up to 5, 6, 7.
Mm-hmm.
So then
I've got to wait for Cat to get in. So there's not a whole lot I can do between like 5:30 and 6:30 when I'm waiting for Cat.
That sounds like the perfect gap for you to be playing something like Pokemon that you.
No, because when it's a time invested game, you don't just want to have 1 hour to put into it. 1 hour is like pick up, play,
no, 100%.
Put down.
Pokemon's the kind of game that I would 100% pick up in my 30-minute gaps and play for 30 minutes and then save and close it.
That's what I've got phone games for.
Right, so there we go. So there is a period of time there that you have. I'm not going to account that in it. There is a period of time that is free where you're playing phone games. That doesn't count as blocked time. So I'm still going to say, what time does Cat get in, Liam?
Like 6:30.
6:30, so that's an extra hour after your work. So that's 1 hour that we've established there is free time for you.
Yeah.
So we're still at 7:30, 8:30, and you've got 1 hour that you could have already got free. So what are you doing at 8:30? What's happening then?
So let's say I've had dinner.
Yep, dinner's all done. We've done dinner, we've done washing up, we've done the adult stuff.
We did the cooking.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't actually factor in time for that. What's that?
Oh, easily half an hour. Easily.
Half an hour. Cool. That's 8:30. Or no, did I say 8:30?
Yeah, 8:30 was what we were at, so we were now at 9.
9 o'clock. Okay, so what are you doing at 9?
Stick on a film.
Okay, that's 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's 11.
11, bedtime.
What are you doing then?
Bedtime.
Oh, do you? I'm just going to quickly, listeners, I'm just getting my phone and I'm just scrolling a little bit through a conversation that me and Liam had yesterday, just clarifying something. It's back a little bit. We had a few conversations today, didn't we, Liam?
A couple.
We talk so much. Oh, okay. We are... Yep, that's about it. So, at 12:56, so that's 4-1 in the morning.
Yeah.
How many hours into Pokemon? So I reply, this conversation, we had a little conversation about how much Pokemon we played, just to sort of clarify, and then... Yep, 2:56, I received the text 1118, which is the number of films that Liam has got to watch.
So that was like an hour of counting.
But that is 3 in the morning, Liam. So when you say Betty buys, I think you might be bullshitting.
In all honesty,
you're the same as me. You stay up way too late.
I did one night this week. I did go to bed at 11, and I slept right through till my alarm at 9, and it was glorious. No,
yeah,
that's a lie.
When you get a night like that, it is always good. But
No, I went to bed at 1. I made a mistake.
It looks like 11.
Yeah, I've got confused. It was actually 1.
All I'm saying, Liam, is I think you could find time for this game if you wanted to, but I get that you are.
Yeah, and the other thing is, we're not factoring I need to watch my YouTube shows. That's time.
I think you just need to learn to multitask.
Genuinely, I would get so much more done if I could, but I hate the idea of not giving something my full attention, and I don't know why that is. It's like, if I'm watching a movie, and let's say I get a text, most people just look at it, maybe send a reply, done. I have to pause the film, sort out the text, even if it's just like a nonsense thing, and then resume the film.
Yeah, that's insane.
Like, I cannot stand the thought of multitasking.
Fair enough. Come on then, let's do it. What do you give Pokemon Moon out of 5?
I would say it's a real hard one, this one. I'm torn between 3 and 3.5. I think I'm going to have to say 3. Because honestly, if it weren't for the podcast, I'd have probably stopped 10 hours ago.
That's insane. I give it a 4.
Solid 4.
Yep. It's my favourite Pokemon game, I think. It might even be a 4.5, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
I forget that we can do 0.5 sometimes, so I just say a whole number, and then I'm like, no, we do halves.
Yeah, 4.5. Why not? Why not? But like, I don't feel like we've spoken enough about what it is about it that you actually specifically like.
Oh, the stuff that you were saying towards the beginning tends to be the things... I wrote a little list of the things that I really enjoy.
Okay.
I like that they've overhauled the gym leader system, like you
Yep.
said. I think that's really interesting and makes the game quite a cool little look at alternate life in Pokemon. I like the Z move system. I think that's kind of an awesome little thing they've added.
I haven't used it.
Unlike the Mega Evolutions, which are limited
like
to
those.
what Pokemon you can use it on,
Yeah.
you get Z moves can be used on anyone.
I just haven't used them.
That's ridiculous. That's because you're fighting easy Pokemon, though, so it makes sense.
Yep.
That wasn't a diss. That was a legitimate, like, that is the reason.
Yeah. Haven't found the need.
I like the fact they've dropped the grid walking system, because you had some parts in X and Y. Was all of X and Y not on a grid?
I think it was all not on a grid, I think.
But I don't think it was. It wasn't the same though, was it? It wasn't quite. I think wasn't a lot of the buildings and shit were on the grid still.
Possibly.
Whereas this, you actually walk through winding paths and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's a really cool feature. Even if it wasn't the last one, I think it's awesome. I like most of the Alola form Pokemon. Like, I think it's a really cool way to give some of the old Pokemon like there's a new reason to be interested in those first gen Pokemon.
Can you still get the alternative version? I've fought one, but I don't know if you can actually catch them.
Yeah, you fight them from visitors who are from other countries in the world.
The thing that would have got me so psyched about this game, like so happy, is if you could have travelled to a previous land at the end, like you can in Gold and Silver. It's the one thing that I've loved in any previous Pokemon game, and they just have never seemed to have done it again.
Yeah, no, because it would be really difficult for them to do it.
Well, they did it.
Because the amount of space it would take up on an SD card, on a cartridge, would be so much bigger now.
But they did it.
Yeah, on an old game. That's what I'm saying.
Well, take me back to Johto.
If you look at the original Game Boy games, you had Pokemon Red, which was on a Game Boy cartridge.
Yeah.
You could play it in a Game Boy Color, but it wasn't actually a Game Boy Color cartridge. I believe the Game Boy Color cartridges were bigger than the traditional Game Boy cartridge,
right?
So they had more space to use on it. Pokemon Gold and Silver didn't particularly use a giant palette of colours. They were there, but it wasn't huge, which meant they had more space on the cartridge, so they could put 2 maps in.
So put 2 maps in.
Then you look at the next one, which is Pokemon Ruby, which is then on a new cartridge, so they used all of that space, making their map look better, effectively.
Yeah, but why can't they?
And then that's what's always happened.
Why can't they just have it as like a download or something?
Because that's not how the Pokemon Company have done their games.
Well, it's stupid. That's
all
I want. That's all I want, just to go to a new island at the end.
Yeah, well, that's a ridiculous thing to be hung up on.
No,
I don't understand that.
You're a ridiculous thing to be hung up on.
I think the game is a lot more beautiful, this one. There's been like a lot more interesting places to see than in other games. I really like the setting.
I like the setting, but I don't think it's
you
more
wouldn't know
beautiful.
Tyranny Island 2, don't worry about it.
Okay, it gets more beautiful, does it?
Oh, yeah, way more.
Okay, that's good to know.
I like the idea of the new legendaries, the Beast Pokemon. Oh, sorry, you haven't actually
but you can still talk about
them. No, I'm just being a dick now. No, the Beast Pokemon, they're just legendaries. They're okay.
Are they anything like the annoying legendary dogs that would change every time you change
No, I was looking it up, and I don't think this game has any running legendaries. I looked it up the other day because I got the Master Ball in the game, and I was like, because I used to always use that on the main legendary when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then I think it was in one of the ones that had Pokemon that ran away, the legendaries.
Yeah,
someone was use one of the Master Balls on that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. I remember the first time I caught a Susine, and I was so happy with myself.
Yeah.
I think I phoned up a friend to brag.
I thought you were going to say to cry.
No, just to brag.
Bragging's better. But yeah, no, those are the main things I like. I just think it's a really cool thing. I've not been this hooked in a Pokemon game for a long time.
Okay, so you're probably going to play it through till the end?
Yeah, I hope so.
And then not have anyone to trade legendaries with, so
Yeah, no, I can, because I can do the GTS.
Nah, you don't want to do that.
I've been using it for
Can't
things.
trust those.
A lot of people ask for this is the only thing that annoys me about the Global Trade Center, right?
Yeah.
Is that you go on it, and I looked up, what was I looking for? It's one of the Alola form Pokemon that we don't get in Moon.
Okay.
So it's not. It might be Ice Vulpix.
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of want one of them. I like the idea of an ice Pokemon that used to be a fire Pokemon. That's quite cool. And the 2 ice ones, like Sandshrew and Vulpix, look quite cool as well.
Yeah.
So I was looking for that. And the trades people are asking for, like, I can't imagine people are accepting them. Because, like, they're asking for legendaries and starter Pokemon. And I was like,
that's just greedy.
It's a Vulpix. You catch it in the wild on your game.
Yeah.
I don't understand why more people aren't just going, I'll trade you an Ice Vulpix for an Ice Sandshrew. Because
that makes sense.
That's a fair trade. It's the 2 alternate Pokemon that we catch in the same fucking place.
Yeah.
Like, occasionally you find a decent trade. I think for that one I got one in the end.
Honestly. One thing that I haven't been a big fan of is the festival place.
I've not used it very much. I used it a little bit.
Yeah, I used it a little bit. Wasn't a big fan. And the other thing that I haven't used at all, but I hear you should if you want to catch it.
Pokepegalo?
What?
Pegalo?
I don't know, the QR code thing. If apparently,
I haven't used that either.
Yeah, apparently you can like do island scans, and then you get like Bulbasaur and Squirtle and stuff can appear and stuff like that. And
that's quite cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like that's how you get like sort of rare Pokemon from previous games and stuff. But it just
okay.
It just all seems so like I don't like those sort of things where they feel a bit like a last minute thought, if you know what I mean. Like, it doesn't feel like it's been very well integrated into the game. Like, oh, you scan all these codes and then you do a scan and then maybe one of these Pokemon shows up. It just feels a bit tacked on.
I mean, that's a very Pokemon feature.
I don't like it though.
It's like, what was the one in, I don't think it was X and Y, it might have been Black and White.
There was like only Pokemon games I've never played are Black and White.
Fair enough. They had something in that was like, not the Versus Seeker, because that's useful. There was something, I think it activated swarms, and you did it, and you got a certain swarm somewhere, and you had to fight them.
Yeah, it sounds like a bit similar to that then.
Yeah, except this is more complicated. But even then, this is like, I don't mind it, because it's not like it's shoved in my face. That's when it annoys me. If a feature's really last minute, it annoys me if it's either a requirement, or if the game like tries to sell me on it. The game has not mentioned the QR reader to me. I think it says it once, where I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing. And I think that was then, it was a tip, and it was like, you could use this. And I was like, oh, okay.
I'm also disappointed that the Pokemon like photography stuff isn't used more.
Yeah, we were both saying that. It pops up right at the beginning.
Yeah.
And you get this little thing, and it's like, oh, take a photo of the Pikachu. And I was like, oh, that's quite cool. It's a little bit like Pokemon Snap.
Yeah.
That'd be exciting. I'll find some more of those spots. I haven't seen another one.
No. And obviously,
there's a bit later on where you have to do it to catch a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Oh, no, one of the island challenges is you have to do it.
Yeah. No, it's very frustrating. Because
I wish you'd got to that, actually. Have you done the Ghost trial yet?
Nah, not yet. I'm on the water one.
The Ghost trial one is my favourite trial so far.
Okay. I do like the trials. The trials are a really good addition.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll stick with it. But the thing is, I don't like playing the Nintendo 3DS.
I think you should play. Okay, I'll tell you where I think you should try and get if you can.
Okay.
Mainly because it's a genuinely interesting bit of the Pokemon story that is something that I don't think has happened in any other game.
Okay.
There's a bit where you find out the truth about Team Skull.
Yeah.
And that bit, honestly, like I'd heard it was coming. I didn't know exactly what, but I'd heard something that I was like, oh, okay, this is what they were talking about. And it was like genuinely interesting part of the story that I was like, oh, what? Like, it's so cool that a Pokemon game's done something like this.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll do a little bit more then. Because it's not like I've been hating it or anything. It's just because I've been doing it for the podcast. There's definitely been times where I was like, oh.
Yeah, where you've played that you might not have played.
Yeah, I would have done something else.
Yeah,
but maybe I'll stick with it and do a bit more.
I think give it a chance. Just try, because I'd be interested in what you thought about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, those are the reasons I like it, Liam. Those are the reasons you didn't particularly like it as much.
And that's Pokemon Moon.
Yeah.
Did it? I think we had another tweet, didn't we, from Tom about it. I'm looking. Here we go. Right. So Tom Hogan at the Tomothy said Pokemon Sun/Moon is great. It has more story, new Pokemon, but still appealing to my nostalgia by having some new variations of old ones. It's enough of the old formula to be clearly a Pokemon game while being plenty different, bringing a welcome change to stop it feeling too samey. I like that I don't have to have a HM slave. That's something we didn't mention. And it just looks lovely. No, cons, not enough hats. I do like this new. I like the new feature where the Pokemon
ride system.
You can call them and stuff. I like that. The thing is, I did used to find with the HM that I never had a HM slave. I would always try and split it between my party instead of
but then that's a slot of a move that you then have to have.
No, it is, but it made it more strategic because it was like, right, so now instead of like 4 moves, I've got 3 to play with.
Yeah, but again, they have a competitive scene now, so they can't exactly... Like, because the competitive scene, all it would end up being was people would have 2 Pokemon.
Yeah.
If they had to strategically split out moves. Also, you're forcing yourself to be strategic there, because you can't have a HM slave.
Yeah, I know. I hate... I feel so bad for the Pokemon that's just basically a HM bitch. Like, that's not right. It's not fair.
Yeah, no, same. I used to... Yeah. It's one of the biggest things that I didn't like about those games was that I was effectively not forced to have one.
No, you never had to do it.
No, but you also didn't have to put a move on each individual Pokemon.
Well, you had to do one or the other.
Also, you would then have to theme your whole party based on, I need a water Pokemon so it can learn Surf.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's insane. That's ridiculous.
Or a special Pikachu.
Yes, or the special Pikachus.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, if you like Pokemon, fucking crack on, you'll love this.
I think people that don't like Pokemon would like this.
I don't think...
Honestly, I think the real difference is if you like... I don't know how to put it.
Yeah.
Without making it sound like I'm insulting you, and I'm genuinely not trying to at this point.
Yeah.
I think if you want a game that you can just sit down for a few hours a night, maybe less, where you just get to wander around, meet a bunch of nice people in a nice world where everyone's nice.
Play The Sims.
Get Pokemon. This game is just lovely. Everyone's lovely to you. It's all nice. This one has so many people. One of my favourite things about this game, Liam, there are so many people in this game that will just heal your Pokemon.
I mean, it's a weird thing to be like, that's one of my favourite things, but fair enough. You're not wrong.
No, because it's just nice. In the old games, you'd fight a trainer and he'd be like, oh, you beat me. In this one, they're like, you beat me. Do you want me to make your Pokemon feel better? That sounded a bit sexy.
Yeah. Alright, well, I mean, fair enough.
It's just a nice little world. If you want to have a nice time in a nice world, go play Pokemon. If you think you want to catch them all, maybe don't get it, because you might get slightly upset with some of the features.
There's just so many to catch as well, isn't there? Let's be real.
Not a huge amount.
We're in like 700 plus now.
Yeah, but you can't catch them all in this game.
Which is so annoying.
Well, no, because then you couldn't catch them in any of the games.
No, I know, but it was always like...
You can't complete your Pokedex in any game without trading up from old saves, I don't think.
Well, obviously Pokemon Red and Blue, you just have to trade between the two.
Yeah, true.
So, there's that.
But the completion for this would be filling out the Alola Pokedex. That's the Pokedex.
Yeah, no, I know. And that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
But, you know...
for you, yeah.
It was... Fine. It's fine. Not one of the worst games we played for the show.
What game is the worst game we played for the show?
Pardon?
What game is the worst game we've played for the show?
Probably No Man's Sky, I think. Although I did have issues playing The Division, but that was more playing it with you, the way you were playing it, than the game itself.
Yeah, sorry about that, listeners. I just like trying to get as much content for you guys as I can.
I just like having a good old time.
Fair enough.
Well, I think probably one of my game highlights, ironically, is also The Division.
I had fun playing that with you.
I really enjoyed the
not
Dark
as much
Zone
of a
stuff.
dickhead as you.
The Dark Zone stuff was really good. It was just the getting there that was...
Let's not review Division again.
So Pokemon, I gave it 3, you gave it 4.5.
Yeah, we've done this.
We've done that. Next time, on Nerd on Nerd...
Yes, Liam. What are we doing next?
We have a special guest, Jack.
Oh, do we?
We do. Amanda... Oh, fuck. Iman?
Look it up.
Well, no, I know that's what it is. I just don't know if that's how you say it.
Say it confidently then.
Is it Iman?
Iman?
Iman? Amanda Iman. Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright. Next time, we have a very special guest. Jack?
What? Why did you suddenly add a pause there? When you did it just then, there wasn't a pause.
No, I thought you were going to say who it was.
No!
Right.
The whole bit started with me saying, do we? I can't go, or do we have a special guest? And then say her fucking name.
Next time, we have a very special guest, don't we, Jack?
Do we?
We do. Amanda Iman.
Ah.
At Amanda Ailey on Twitter. She's listened to every single episode. And she is the host of a podcast called Oscars Are My Super Bowl. She suggested next time. Alright, as a bonus, she's recommended one of my personal favourite films, a film called Westworld, but the main thing we'll be talking about is the graphic novel that film is based on.
Okay, I don't think I know anything about it.
Okay, in that case, I'm really excited to get your opinions, because I think you'll like it, in all honesty.
Cool, I'm down with that. I always like something that I will like.
Yeah, and I think we'll have a good old time talking about it, and it's the first time we're going to have a guest on that we haven't actually spoken to before, like in real life, someone that we don't like actually know from
someone
life.
That we didn't know before we started podcasting.
Yeah, so I'm kind of excited to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. Jack's looking forward to it. Hopefully Amanda's looking forward to it, and also hopefully you're looking forward to it.
Oh, how nice, Liam.
Huh?
I said, how nice. But
Thank
I
you.
said it nicely.
Yeah, so 2017, this is the start of a new year. Hopefully we'll have more guests on. I've got a couple in mind, but Jack needs to sign off on them. Stick around, yeah?
I like when you just go on these little... like, you start doing, not an outro, but like a spiel. And then you keep trying to leave gaps for me, but I don't know where you're going, so I can't help you.
Yeah.
And then instead of just ending it, you just keep going. But then the deeper you get, the less able I am to get you out of it.
Yeah, I'm like...
So you keep stopping for me, and I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I'm like, at some point, he'll step up and help, and it never happens.
But I don't know what you want me to say, or where you're trying to get to. I know where we're trying to get to, but I'm just watching us recede further and further away from it.
How can they find us?
If you want to get in contact with us, give us a little tweet at nerdonnerd, or you can email us at nerdonnerdpod@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook. If you search Nerd on Nerd, I think we come up. Sure. If you want to watch us on YouTube, we have a couple of little videos that we put up every now and again, and the episodes go up there too. You can search Nerd on YouTube. I'm not convinced that we come up.
I thought we did.
I thought we did too, but I went incognito and I couldn't find us.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, it's not a good sign. So just in case, guys, you try searching Nerd on Nerd. If you don't see us, type in Nerd on Nerd, Episode 1, something fleshlight. Just fleshlight. Type in fleshlight.
Nerd on Nerds, try fleshlights.
Nerds try fleshlights. Episode 1.
That would have been a good first episode.
Yeah, we should have called it that.
Never mind. We've got Nerds try new things, so...
That's true, that's a little series we do.
Yeah, we've only done one so far, but I'm...
Oh!
Yeah?
Just thought of something. Listeners, I'm thinking we have a Twitch channel that we don't use particularly. I am going to attempt to get all of the achievements in a Steam game called Secret of the Magic Crystal, which, if any of you know, is utter shite. But I've sort of set myself a 2017 goal of getting all the achievements for some reason. I don't know why I've decided this. So, keep your eye out for that. I'll give a couple of little tweets maybe when I'm thinking of doing it.
I know, I'll be checking that out.
Yeah, well, you can be on it if you want, Liam. That's sort of what we do.
Thank you.
Bye!
Bye!